And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 122. So I hope you guys had a great holiday season to end off 2024, and I will definitely be changing the batteries in my smoke detector, actually. Unlike,
always a good idea.
So, as you guys know, Professor Savage Dad and myself, the show that we do on the MSK show, where we cover just pretty much like doing comic book news and review content. If you guys don't want to watch the show live, you can obviously watch the clipped version on the comic book channel. I uploaded a channel update / welcome video. So I'm going to use that video as the homepage for the channel so you guys can know like what are my plans for 2025 and beyond. And these are the plans that I'm sticking with pretty much forever unless something like seriously drastically changes. Also, the show that we do is going to be on Tuesdays moving forward unless Professor Savage Dad's job has a change for his schedule. But if he can't be on Tuesday because he might be going out of town, we'll just do it that Sunday for that week. That way we will still have the show. But what did you get for Christmas, sir?
What did I get for Christmas? Oh, shit, I don't have any of it out here anymore. You should actually, you want to see what I got for Christmas? You should check out my unboxing stream I did on my Rumble channel a while ago. A bunch of stuff. I got some G.I. Joes, some Transformers. I got a massive Lego Atari build. So it's like an Atari 2600. What else did I get for Christmas? I got some comic books, roughly in that time there. You know, I got this guy as well.
You get the Guy Gardner omnibus? Oh, wait. Those don't exist.
Guy Gardner. I don't think anybody's clamoring for a Guy Gardner omnibus. Guy Gardner is never really been successful by himself. They've tried to do some weird things with him and some different things with him, but he's only ever really worked as part of like Justice League, some weird sub-team of Justice League or other things. Like he's all right in a team book or when he's got other characters, but he doesn't stand up by himself. I know there's some people that really love him and he's got some good moments, but he's no Jon Stewart. Like he isn't somebody who actually could take the mantle or took the mantle of Green Lantern and really made it engaging, made it interesting. Like, you know, unlike Kyle Rayner, who was, you know, the last surviving Green Lantern, there was nobody. There was him with a ring that basically just worked. And there was no Oa, there was no Guardians, there was no other Green Lanterns. It was one of the things that made Kyle Rayner's run so interesting. Like he was, you know, the last guy to ever be one or that would ever be one again. And I don't know, I found it more engaging that way. Like I understand that it's always from its inception bit of a mantle. So I don't mind them mantalizing it. It's one of these things that makes Green Lantern
the only one that you really can kind of get away with doing it. It's like the only one that is like passable with it.
You can't do this to Batman. You can't do this to the Flash.
Or not Captain America. We got Captain Africa.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a Captain America thing either. It's something that like only certain characters is this really acceptable to do with, and like Green Lantern is one of those. And there's not many other really that had that built into their lore. So, but I liked the take where Kyle was like the last guy, the last there would ever be, you know, when he was gone, Green Lanterns were done. The legacy was over. Like it put a lot of weight into the things that went on in his stories and made it good. And it made him a really good Green Lantern, made him a great one, I think. I mean, I think functionally the best Green Lantern period is Jon Stewart. I know some people love Hal, and Hal is good, but Jon Stewart has always just been a really great at being a Green Lantern. But Kyle Rayner, like, had some really great moments, some really inspiring moments, some really fucked up shit that went on too, to him. So I don't know. I love that they collected it, and I love the way they've actually paced it out. I'm looking forward to getting into the Robin compendium as well a bit, and looking forward to getting the Lobo one when the Lobo. I've got some extra cash for that one as well.
that might be my next one that I buy, the Logan Fraggin special, because I ended up buying the JSA Compendium 1, the Jeff Johns run. I bought that one. They made in a compendium format, and the next the next omnibus that I buy is either going to be the Justice League New 52 one or the Thor by J. Michael Straczynski omnibus. So I'm just kind of debating on those two right now. I'll probably do the Thor one first. I have a lot of, for people know me with DC, I have a lot of DC omnibuses. DC has all the omnibuses for my fucking shelf case. I like Marvel omnibuses, but the DC omnibuses are not only the better quality of the actual book itself. I'm just saying the character stories are a little bit more, better. But to be fair,
I'm finding them a lot more interesting too, dude. Like, I get it. Like, other than Spider-Man, Marvel isn't holding up here in my late age nearly as much for me. But like the DC has these more readily available. They're just here. They have the things that you want. If you came up in comic books and grew up in comic books at the same time like I did, Kyle Rayner and Tim Drake Robin are the heroes you saw. Like there's good nostalgia here for those of us who have that disposable income to spend on it. So they're really hitting a good target with those there. The same with the Lobo from Keith Giffen. These were great runs that I never got to read all of this stuff. So for $30, they're almost unbeatable. I've got enough content here for comic books to probably not need anything to read for months.
Not just months, literal years. If you just like literally read a book a week, you'd have content to read forever, almost honestly. Omnibuses themselves are almost like 800 pages minimum for the most part, with like a bunch of backup stories too. Oh, and for anyone out there who just wants to collect like older stuff, DC's finest line of trade paperbacks, they're releasing a bunch of older stuff. Like they released one for Green Lantern all the way back from his stuff from the Silver Age. Because keep in mind, I'll people understand, they have released Silver Age omnibuses before. They just might be out of print, honestly. So they've been releasing the DC's finest line. They put out the Flash, Green Lantern, Catwoman, Aquaman first appearances, JSA, Justice League. You had one for an event called 0 Hours. A lot of them coming out. So because people are like, well, I don't want to get the new stuff. I want to buy like the older stuff. The problem with buying older stuff in back issues is because you have to go through all those long boxes to find back issues. I just want the stuff in trade and collected edition because other people don't know this about me. I don't mind floppies. I like floppies, but I like books like this that have like a collected edition trade paperback format. It's a lot more easier to store. Yeah, it's a lot more easier to store on your shelf. It's a lot more easier to put it in like a actual organized category. Most of my floppies just go in my dresser, honestly. I'll just kind of leave them in there.
My floppies are in my boxes. I've got a couple long boxes again to put them in. Yeah. But it's like, it's also just more expensive, and I don't like spending the excess money on it, really. Like, I'm not picking up the floppies for Void Rivals. I'm not picking up the G.I. Joe floppies. I'm not picking up the Transformers floppies.
Oh, I have that now,
I'm going to get them in trade.
I did my haul. I got the Transformers Volume 2. That should be the next one we review. Yeah, we got to review the Transformers
review 1 yet?
Yeah, we did. We did, remember?
Oh, that's right, we did. Well, then, yeah, I'll probably be getting through 2 soon. My books that I'm going to be working on are these guys right here.
Oh, I have.
Well, I'm actually done with Horseman. So I've got Void Rivals, Destro, and Transformers are going to be my next reads after I finish my my last Punisher Christmas book that I didn't reread yet.
So I know a lot of people know I try to announce the reviews that we're going to do together. Obviously, some of the stuff we don't have the same, so we just do it alone. So tonight, obviously, we're going to be reviewing the Horseman. Welcome to Florespark, and then we're going to talk about the Amazing Spider-Man Marvel comic book series getting another #1 reboot. So the stuff that I'm going to be currently reading, I'm going to read and review these. The DC All-In Special. And I know a lot of people actually watched my Zeb Wells Amazing Spider-Man World Without Love Volume 1 review. Well, I'm going through other controversial figures. I'm going to start my journey into Tom King's Batman run. Batman Volume 1, I Am Gotham by Tom King and David Finch. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people don't actually know this. I actually have most of the stuff already. I have all the run. For the Amazing Spider-Man, I never actually bought more than Volume 2. So I have to buy the rest of the volumes. I own most of the stuff already from this era all the way to where it's at currently right now. know what else
That's
is there?
why
Oh,
I would.
I found it.
The
I
J.
found the
Michael
TMNT Naruto crossover comic that I ordered a while ago.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah,
I
issue
meant
2
to
is
check
dropping
that out.
next week. So this
I'll
is the
probably
next
get
stuff.
that in trade.
So this is the next stuff that I will be reading and reviewing. And then for us, we are going to be reviewing Transformers Volume 2 from the Energon universe next Tuesday before you go out of town. So we have to do the episode Sunday that week. Oh my goodness, that cover looked so good. Oh good lord, look at the DC stuff right there.
Yeah, I would if I was you, you have a lot more resilience for shit like that than I do. I would like J. Michael Straczynski is not getting any more of my money. He was a party to shitting on Spider-Man. And but then you had the Dan Slott, you had the Zeb Wells, like just terrible runs. You Tom King on Batman, like bro, you are. I don't know what you did that you feel like you need to punish yourself in this way for, but I mean, wouldn't it be easier to just like I don't know, whip yourself or like get a belt and spank yourself or something? Like I don't know what you did wrong, but I would rather that than to have to sit there and read through entire runs of Zeb Wells and Tom King. It's just depressing.
Oh, I think the book's right here. I found it. No, I didn't. That's the wrong book. So next week, because I know I just opened it today. I'll find it. We're gonna review the Transformers. Let me make sure I get the name right. Next week we have Transformers Volume 2. So what's this book called? Oh, it's called Transport to Oblivion. Yeah. So next week, Transformers Transport to Oblivion Volume 2 review. And before we start reviewing Horseman, because I know we got a lot to talk about tonight. We've missed out on 2 weeks. Savage Dad said, you know what? I'm taking the holidays off, MSK. And I'm going to spend time with my family. So he left me for his wife. What the hell? You left me for your wife, you son of a bitch. Oh,
you ain't even got any titties, yo.
It's not Tuesday. Well, yes, it is. Fuck, that joke doesn't work today.
Are you
high? Only day where the joke doesn't work.
I don't know what joke you're trying to make.
Good lord. But hey, man.
It's one of these ones that Tiny uses to make fun of you. I miss those.
As everyone knows, me and Tiny kissed and made up. You know, she admitted that Henry Cavill. She admitted I won the Henry Cavill debate.
She's gonna kill you.
She also admitted that I'm the hottest guy she's ever been with, sexiest guy, richest guy. She said she wants to please me as best she can. Will she ever appear on the show again? I don't know about that, but everything is okay. You know.
Not unless you can back that up with some DM receipts.
I deleted the conversation.
Yeah, that's what he said.
She has the whole conversation. I don't. Because I don't like keeping that kind of weird conversation on my phone log, so I'll just get rid of them myself. But she has them, so you know she can always expose me for the top G that I exposed myself to her last night. Metaphorically speaking, not physically. That would be weird. All right,
she's gonna beat you.
All right. Before we start talking about the Horseman, here is the top 20 graphic novels for December of 2024. So, you know, the last month of last year. Here was the top 10 right here. Dogman, Volume 13 at number 1. Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 1 at number 2. Transformers, Volume 2 at number 3. Batman Court of Owls, DC Compact Comics, Batman Hush, number 5.
That came back up.
All three of these.
They gave that away for Christmas, dude. Dude, those were Christmas presents right there. Because remember, they dropped down a little bit. Now they're back up again. I bet you those stick for a while. DC, do the good stories. Court of Owls, Hush, All-Star Superman. The weird Green Lantern one, nobody cares. I don't need that.
I probably was just a quota to fill. You have to have this many books to do it. Just throw that in there. That had to have been a quota
dude,
fill.
there's so many other stories they could freaking do, though, man. They could start doing parts of, like, Blackest Night is big. They could do, like, 2 Blackest Nights.
No Man's Land.
No Man's Land? Dude, No Man's Land would be a few of those. And really, you'd have to start off with Batman Cataclysm all the way back to the Earthquake, bro.
There's so many Batman
That's going to be 2 by itself.
I think
No Man's Land is
later
fantastic.
in the year.
I have all of it.
I think later in the year they should do The Long Halloween and Dark Victory. Those you should definitely
would be Yeah, that's dude. They should, if they aren't releasing those this coming October, they're retarded. There's no way you don't get those out around Halloween. Like, yeah, absolutely. But you know what is DC Comics? Who knows? They have good ideas, and then they manage to fuck them up after they get about a month or two in of being successful. So it's one of those wait and sees with that.
At number 7, which is still crazy considering this book's been like in the top 5 forever.
How long? Yeah, that thing is just.
This book's been like basically the top 5, top 10 for like fucking years.
I can't believe that they put that out and did so well with it, and then decided. I mean, it just shows you though what it really means is that Layard and Eastman were not making enough money, even on that book selling that well.
Yeah.
To keep the IP and not just sell it to Paramount, which is so fucking depressing.
Keep in mind, if the guys that created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles aren't rich, you know there's something fucked up with how much money these companies actually offer them to sell out for. There has to be. There's no way you should be creating Transformers, G.I. Joe, and TMNT and you're broke. Like, I shit you guys not. The guy that actually made G.I. Joe, all the characters, is broke. He still is writing G.I. Joe comics still to this day. I'm not kidding you. And G.I. Joe's less popular than it used to be, but it's still very, very known.
It's worse off with the guys who did Ninja Turtles. Like, at some point, they must have made money. Maybe they fucked up and blew it all, because there's no way that they didn't make money on toys. Those toys sold so fucking much for so long.
The TV show that I grew up with, I know that was popular. I know toys from that sold very well. I grew up with the one that was on Cartoon Network. The 2003, 2004 one, it was so good. Oh, it was amazing.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one. That was on Fox Kids, 4 Kids or whatever. And then there was
even the one that they did on Nickelodeon. Was so dumbed down. Oh, 4 Kids. Oh, good old 4 Kids back in the day. Holy shit, that was so bad.
That was that like extreme turtles where they had pecs and everything, but like a lot of people still remember that one somewhat fondly. It wasn't too bad. But the 2012 one on Nickelodeon was good, and then they sold it.
I like the Masters of the Universe show. I thought that was better than the TNT one. It was the cartoon that was on Toonami, and fucking I can't remember year. About the same year that show was on. Yeah, that one was great. That's my version of what He-Man is.
Relaunch.
Watchmen at number 8 for the Compact Comics. So it's crazy. You have Batman: The Court of Owls, Batman: Hush, also Superman, and Watchmen for top 10 graphic novels for DC. All reprinted shit. What's crazy is if people look at these lists, Watchmen wasn't even up there. Watchmen was actually dead last a few months.
Yeah, Watchmen wasn't the big one last time, but it looks like I said, dude, Christmas is probably what brought a lot of people in on that one. It's all of those books, because at $10, those are great gifts for, dude. You could give those to people at work. They're 10 fucking bucks. You could give them to a friend. You could give them to people you're just like trying to show them a comic book. Like, it's practically throwaway money, dude. Like, it costs more to get lunch at McDonald's than those comic books do. So,
another big one here. Priced. DC versus Marvel, the Amalgamate Omnibus. So a lot of people are going to be like, well, is this the same one that came out last time? No. So the one that came out before was a collection of the crossovers that they did before the Amalgam Age. So this is the ones. So these are the DC versus Marvel comics that you guys pretty much know about and talk about as far as like who's like stronger than who. That's this one. So you have like
I have a lot of those in floppy.
Yeah, because people are like, well, why can't I just go and get the back issues? Yeah, they'll probably become stained in washing machine.
Dude, they're gonna be hard to find. They're not like easy to come by any means.
Those aren't like a lot of people go, I'll just go get them in back issues. First of all, where? And if you go on eBay and you start looking, that's gonna cost a lot of money. So if you want the DC versus Marvel stuff just from before the Amalgam Age and this one, just get these. Literally, you'll have it all in an omnibus, better paper quality, all collected in one fell swoop. So I'll be getting that omnibus very soon. It might sell out by the time I do. So I probably will end up having to get the direct market cover. I don't really like the direct market. Sorry, no. I don't like the main cover. I like the direct market cover better. Because the main line
that's cover, the nice thing about those too. And all of these, even these compendiums here, the paper quality is nicer. It's more archival. It's going to last longer than the old school paper quality that some of these had.
Look at
So
this right
the
here.
art has been restored really nicely as well. Like, I
Another
appreciate it.
DC Compacts comics at number 20 is the Harley Quinn and Gotham City Sirens one. I didn't buy this one, but I never heard bad things about
No
this.
interest.
So
Yeah,
we
I
got,
mean, some people really like Harley Quinn. I don't like modern day Harley Quinn, not even
you
a
mean
little
Harley
bit.
Fart
I find
Quinn?
the whole character remarkably annoying, so I don't pay attention.
So here is okay. So that's the. I'm pretty sure this is the direct market cover. That's what I'm gonna get. The reason why I'm not gonna get the main cover right here is
God
because
damn,
of
that's expensive.
it's no. Well, this is just I probably more cheaper on eBay. I just don't like the white color right there. Let me get a better image of it. Holy crap,
Yeah.
I don't have an image.
I'm looking for I want to see. I've seen it pop up on Amazon, but I haven't really actually looked at the price tag on it. That's what I'm kind of interested in. Like,
Oh, you could probably find it way cheaper on other websites anyway. So I actually
yeah,
like the cover itself. I don't like the white background. It's a plain white background. I can't
yeah.
do it. This looks just way better with all the characters right there and the name right there. All right, so Walter wanted us to go over the top 50 comics selling from December 2024, so we will. Here we go.
Let's do
So,
it. Look at
number one,
the
Absolute
cover.
Batman number 3. Number 2, Absolute Superman number 2. Number 3, Ultimate Universe Year 1. Ultimate Universe 1 Year in number 1 at number 3. Number 4 is Ultimate Spider-Man number 12. Number 5 is Absolute Wonder Woman number 3. Number 6 is All New Venom number 1. Number 7 is X-Men number 8.
Nah.
Number 8 is Uncanny X-Men number 7. Number 9 is Amazing Spider-Man number 63. Number 10 is Ultimates number 7. Those are your top 10. So DC is just dominating right now with their absolute line. Keep in mind, there are only a few issues still
all of the alternate universes are, dude. Look at that. Like, all of those books are just about, like, Ultimate Spider-Man is still sitting higher up than anything else.
Yeah.
Because, well, people want to see that more. People care about that more. Like, the mainline books are so ass that this is what people really want to actually see. Like, give me a new story because you fucked up the main line. The main universe sucks now. Give me something.
You're not wrong. Alan Moore is what's crazy is I actually have never read Watchmen or watched the movie, but I know a lot of people have said that Alan Moore as a person is pretty insufferable. I could imagine. Didn't surprise me. Most comic people
are without him a lot. A lot of them are. I mean, not everybody's Alan Moore or Rob Liefeld. I heard Warren Ellis is kind of a dick. Apparently, Todd McFarlane is kind of nice, though. He's kind of a cool guy. So
is Absolute Batman good? I've heard good things about it and may check it out regardless. So for me, I'll be reading and reviewing it after the DC All-In special. So before you actually get Absolute Batman, I was looking at the stuff as it was unfolding. You're supposed to get the DC All-In special first so it can explain to you how all of this came to fruition if you didn't actually read Absolute Power, which is the crossover event DC had last year, but it's going to be in trade in February or March earlier this year. But it's really interesting that DC is now dominating the charts because at one point, remember last year, around like August or September, they had no books in the top 10. They had nothing in the top 10 at one point. They were like out. And everyone right now, people are saying DC's doing well right now. And keep in mind, these are sales to comic book shops. It's not people actually buying the books one by one, obviously. But the thing here is these books are still like 3-4 issues in. If we're at like Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Wonder Woman, and they're like on issues 8, 7, 8, something like that, and they're still in the top 10, that's pretty good. Because right now it's still kind of easy for them to be in the top 10 because the actual comic book issues are still relatively low. But also Spider-Man being here at number 12 is so crazy. I've not even heard good things about this run as it unfolded. A lot of people said it's just Spider-Man without Spider-Man. Hopefully that's not true. What,
Ultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I don't know why they would say that Spider-Man without Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man is... I read the first trade. It was classic Spider-Man. It was great. It was, it was Peter Parker without decades of Marvel shitting on the character. So I enjoyed the hell out of it.
The Deadpool and Wolverine new team up series, because me and Savage Dad, as you guys know, read the 3-part Deadpool Wolverine WWE3 miniseries, and that was just I would say a waste of time and a waste of life energy, but that would be an actual understatement. So this is a sequel to that.
Yeah.
I'll have the video dropping about it very soon. I was contemplating. I was like, you know what? Should I have us do it? And it's like, man, they burnt me so hard with that 3-part miniseries. I'm like, no, I can't. I'll just have to wait for trade. I'll buy and read it in trade, but as a miniseries, that because I know that's this is a sequel to that. Oh hell no! You couldn't pay me enough money to buy this monthly. Not even close. You'd have to literally bend me over, strip me down, and put a fucking
if they're gonna
dildo
do
in my
the same
ass.
villain too, the villains were so like generic, kind of rip-offy, just like
Generic.
pointless and annoying.
Yeah, you're being way too generous there.
It was a very disappointing. Whatever Joe Kelly was trying to do, or whatever the point of it was, got lost because they editorialized. Like I said, about 2 issues of that book got chopped out. It should have been a 5-issue mini, and instead it was 3 issues. It would have
actually flowed better if it was 5 issues. They needed to explain way more in it, but it was cut down to like 3 issues. Maybe they were trying to put it out in tandem with a Deadpool Wolverine movie, but I don't know why they would think that's a good idea. Comics and movies have no correlation to each other at all, outside of like, you know, comics influencing the movie as far as like maybe a title at this point. And guys, look right here. Justice League Unlimited is number 21. Justice League as a title is number 20. That's not good.
Yeah,
that's not good. I have Justice League Unlimited number 1, written by Mark Waid and art by Dan Mora. I haven't read it yet, but I'll keep it on my pull list until I can get to it. But Transformers, number 15 I heard for Transformers is not that bad. Sorry, number 14 for Transformers issue number 15. Keep in mind, there's a lot of reboots going on here and a lot of like number 1. So keep in mind, Transformers is now going to be in its 15th issue. As long as it's literally top 20, it's fine. Keep in mind, it's Transformers competing with Spider-Man, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
When was the last time Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman were all top 5 sellers? I haven't seen that ever in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Long ass time. All right, we're gonna get into reviewing Horseman in just a moment here. Walter wanted us to go over that, so I'm glad you reminded me too, dude, because I would have forgot, honestly. Okay, before we go, there was one thing EVS did say that people somewhat agreed with. So do you think, and I asked James this in the car last night, do you think like new creators, when they do books, if they're not good, that can have an impact on crowdfunding? He phrased it as like small creators, but I thought about it a little bit. It's not the word. That's like the only thing he said that I kind of somewhat could be like, okay, that's somewhat a point. Because like if enough small creators make enough books and they do fulfill them, but if they're not actually anything good, that would actually impact, like you could say, indie comic quality. But that's, I don't know. It's not.
Dude, I would say for the history that I can remember all the way back for indie comics, I'm not even talking like weird. I'm not even talking like crowdsourcing. I'm talking before that. I'm talking the shit that used to show up under Dark Horse or Image, or you know the other weird stuff. Basically anything that wasn't Marvel or DC, and even in that instance, like Marvel or DC, and then even like a lot of the stuff that came out on Image, like some of the Image stuff was mainline, some of it wasn't, and it's still that way today. Like Image is still an imprint of a lot of books that are probably somewhat small, but notice how much smaller Image is today. And like IDW that printed a lot of weird shit is like this fucking big right now. They're nearly non-existent because they couldn't print so much of the weird, basically indie shit that they were printing. Dark Horse had this problem too, where you had a lot of stuff that basically you might as well call indie, but there used to be a ton of indie imprints back in the day. There used to be like, there was like a comic book by this called Scud, which was this weirdly drawn robot assassin. There were tons of these things that for the most part were mediocre at best when it came to being any good, but they were put out, printed, done under like Cyberfrog under Harris Comics, what looked like the same kind of indie pseudo ripoff slop that you would find on the comic book shelves back in the 90s, all the fucking time, into the later 90s, because a few things like popped off. Really, it was because of Image that so many people started making their own indie shit because these big, huge names from Marvel and DC went out and made a whole imprint of themselves and were successful. To mixed degrees. I mean, Jim Lee sold out and decided not to work and gave all of his shit to DC Comics eventually. I mean, at the end of the day, the only person who was really independently fully successful from Image Comics was Todd McFarlane. Nobody remembers the rest of them. And everything else going on at Image right now is barely existent. I mean, I remember back when Witchblade and Darkness were kind of indie.
Did you read his series called Wildcats? Because Jim Lee has a series called Wildcats.
I read it off and on. Yeah, that was the universe that he sold to DC, the Wildstorm universe, all of that. But all of that was still to some degree indie. But for the most part, like crappy indie comic books, there are more of them out there than there are good ones. And I saw Knight Ronan made a really good point today that most of the shit that comes out under crowdfund isn't great. Cyberfrog wasn't great. It was
as much
good.
as Ethan would like to trick people, that was good or great.
It's the same problem I had with Godlike. The story was okay, but do I really want to wait a decade to read a 3-issue story arc? And that's under the idea that there's a story arc that's going to be 3 issues, and then we're going to start a new arc or something.
It's also under the impression it's going to finish in a decade, and also it's like, is this going to be worth the money, investment, and time?
Yeah, well, one, it's not worth the money. These don't have resale. I don't care what Ethan tells you. I still can't move. I had somebody finally offer me $50 for the book on eBay. I'm not joking with you, dude. The book
at that point
trying
you just
to
take
move
it
for $100.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to get rid of it. I've just been lazy about getting back to the guy. These books don't really sell unless they're discounted. All of Ethan's stuff about this shit selling is when he puts a discount on his store and puts things on sale and discounts the merchandise. It undervalues the merchandise that his backers paid for. It's like, this is the thing he doesn't get. Like, nobody's backing Rippaverse Comics anymore. It's now a publishing company. They're pre-ordering them. Completely fucking different. These are already done. They're going to come out. Period. Like, it's already, that's over with. It's going to happen.
Because
it isn't like where we...
Because, no, I was going to say, he touts this as if, like, and it's not even just him. A lot of the other smaller indie guys do this too, and I don't hate these smaller indie guys, but nothing, I'll be honest with you guys, any of the smaller indie guys we've reviewed their work on our show, or even the ones that I know, guys, none of their work is as good as, be honest here, nothing is as good as Daniel Warren Johnson's first volume of Transformers. That just blew me me away in levels I have never seen in a comic ever.
And in all honesty,
so good.
It's ignorant for, like, Ethan should know better as a supposed veteran and professional. It's like
30 years comic pro experience.
Yeah, dude. If guys like John's Longbox or Vaughn are doing this 20 years from now, they're going to be so fucking like Vaughn. I have a lot of hope in. I think Vaughn, if he keeps this up and he actually manages to keep producing something, he's got talent, he's got determination, he's got interest in what he's doing. Ethan hasn't given a fuck about anything he's created for probably 20 years now. It's evident in even in the shit he was doing before he left DC. And I'm not talking like just about the art either, Walter S. Like, Ethan just doesn't care, and frankly, he just doesn't care about the people that support him or his fans. If he did, he would give them the things that they paid for.
Because now he's just
this is no longer an argument about time.
Because now he's just basically trying to offload his own failures on a small creatives. And are all small creatives perfect? Well, no, but you should expect that because they're small. And keep in mind, people give them criticism too. It's not like they just get no criticism at all. Keep in mind.
Yeah, they do get criticism,
and front load all the costs there for everything.
Without it's not even just that they're small, dude. It's that they're new. Vaughn just started doing this shit. John just dropped his first book. Like,
Ethan's the greatest.
And they I can't sit here and say that they're going to be like Chuck Dixon because they're not that good of a writer yet. They haven't done it for very long. The reason I have like a lot of hope for Vaughn is because he's got a lot of good connections. He's talking to good creators. He's managed to network and make relationships with people out there in the industry that are legit, who have done real work, who are good. And I think that he's got a ton of potential. Like, Phenomenova isn't Chris Claremont X-Men or anything like that.
Oh,
but it was still good.
People have to understand is when it comes to like indie comic books, we do not have, I'm just going to put this is going to blow people's minds. You do not have Dan Mora and Adam Kubert or Greg Kupalo doing artwork on these books. We literally have a bunch of unknown people. So when you have unknown people, you kind of get unknown results. And if people did read some of their books and they didn't come back for issue 2, well, that's a writing issue. And keep in mind, if the first book isn't good, people are less likely to back on issue 2. But keep in mind, most people are going to back on book 1 because book 1s just have that kind of inherent effect with them. Unless these books are like, for some of the smaller guys, knock out of the park good, you're going to be getting very similar level of backers. But that's the thing, though. If you're a smaller creative, I expect you to have a smaller audience. And whenever they say their work is better than the mainstream, I always say this. I know you have to say that because you're biased to your own work. I mean, keep in mind, they have to tell you that. They're not going to go like, damn, my work is so much more worse than fucking Jim Lee's. Well, yeah, of course. Well, most people would say that.
Yeah.
But they have to tell you their book is the best thing since sliced bread. It's literally what a salesman does.
Am I going to pick up Phenomenova issue 2 or 2 issues of Gail Simone's X-Men? I'm going to pick up Phenomenova number 2. I can,
actually, no interest in Gail Simone's X-Men and Vaughn's book. See, there you go. You can't discriminate. Oh, speaking of crowdfunders,
no, I can discriminate.
Speaking of crowdfunders, before we go to reviewing Horseman, because I really want to review it, you guys know the black guy Mugen Lord? Mugen Lord, who's been basically trying to build up his own comic book universe for a while. He's invested a lot of money, even actually more money than even John's Longbox would say. We're in the tens of thousands he's invested to get his art and books done. Similar with Eric July, he's doing a pre-order campaign. The book's already done. He already showed proofs on stream. It's already done.
Oh, wow.
I'll be backing this on Friday when I get paid. And you guys have seen Mugen Lord here on the channel. You can go watch the episodes he was on where he talks about his book and his universe. He knows his universe inside and out. He is so passionate for an indie creator.
That's awesome, dude. That's what I want to see. That as an indie creator, that's what you have to be. As any creator, really. I mean, this is one of those things like when somebody comes out and they're like,
artwork too. The artist that he has this like anime style. It's beautiful. Looks great. This actually, I'm not even saying this because I know him. I think the artist that he chose did a fantastic job. This is great.
There are some great artists out there that we don't know their name. They're just young guys or they're new and they never made a name for themselves. But this is what's great about it now is like you've got here basically a comic book feeder league here in the indie world, which, either they end up working somewhere on a book or, maybe at some point their book takes off or IP gets bought or they just do their own thing.
On the Iron Man podcast, I had a guy on who literally did work for Scout Comics, didn't even get paid. Do not work for Scout Comics, guys. They don't pay people.
Oh,
they actually got kicked off of the Diamond distributor list for being late. I don't know what the hell happened. He was like, you know what? I'm okay with not getting paid as long as that it gets me in the foot, as long as it gets me in the door to working with Marvel and DC. It's like, dude, what is wrong with you? Don't just do work for free just to hope to get a gig later. That's not how it's
because then Marvel and DC aren't going to pay you either.
Marvel and DC, I mean, they've had history of not paying people either. I mean, you know what's crazy? That story got so swept under the rug, no one talks about it anymore. It used to be a big thing that they weren't paying people until recently. You just don't hear about that anymore. And I haven't talked to the guy in a while, but man, hey, dude, don't be doing work for free. That's like,
dude, I think
literally what they call slave work.
That's what's going to happen when IDW goes under. You're going to have a shit ton of creatives that don't get paid. Like, that's coming soon. Like, that's going to happen when they go out and it's done for them.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people that don't get paid all of a sudden and are really pissed about it.
You ready for the big opener of tonight? The big banger? what I do to my wife last night after she looked at me and while having sex with
Read
P.
comic
Diddy.
books?
Read comic books. I don't read those. You know, people told me, I had some guy said, you don't read comics. I linked in my comic book. How, guys, comic books is the one medium where literally if you do not actually read them or know what you're talking about, it is so easy to spot. It is one of the fewest nerd things where if you act, you can easily tell a fake person. It's the only nerd hobby where you could be. Because what's on with games, because like video games, they'll just tell you, hey, I ain't put the video games. And with the movie, you can easily fake and lie. You haven't seen a movie or a show. Comic books is not that way at all. If you have not read them, I could tell just from like looking at you or like obviously hearing your opinions on books in general. I don't know everything, but we're getting into this in a few seconds. Let's have some fun tonight. Oh God, hold on. Actually, I'm gonna get a drink before we start. I don't want to just be choking on dick and cock.
Like it every other night.
I'm not choking on dick and cock tonight.
I would hope not. I mean, it's only Tuesday. That's usually a Thursday night thing for you.
Oh, gosh. All right. Holy crap. Let's get up. Wow.
What sauce?
Wow.
Bunghole?
I guess only Nate knows how to do it with me. That sounds kind of good.
Nate? You and Nate are gay together? I didn't know that about Nate.
It's not Tuesday. What the hell? All right. So had to go and get a drink so I wouldn't be choking on cock later. All right. Let's go. Hey. Are you not a supporter of the lettuce, bacon, tomato community? Oh God.
I know he is.
All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on the Horseman Welcome to Florespark. So this was a comic book announced for the Rippaverse actually last year, earlier during the MegaCon event that ended up happening in Florida. Now, as you guys already know, oh my goodness, hold on. Before you go, talk to the audience. I gotta go to the bathroom. Otherwise, I can't do that. Just talk to the audience.
Damn, just as we started the whole thing. So, yes, I actually heard about this before they kind of announced it. Not necessarily that I had some sort of inside man over there at the Rippaverse, but I listened to Chuck Dixon's, what am I reading? And, asked Chuck Dixon, and I was listening to it one day, and he'd mentioned that he's working on something with Joe Bennett. This was like, I think just as Alpha Core was dropping to people, he kind of started talking about what would it look like for street level vigilante in Florespark to show up.
Let's go. So, are you talking about street level holdbacks to show up?
No, bro.
Alyssa Mercante? Isn't that your wife?
Oh,
she got a fat ass, though.
Level.
Would you not put your faith in her ass?
No, nothing. Dude, looking at her smells bad. Like, seriously, her pictures look like they stink. Like, I don't know if it's cat. It's like, I'm assuming cat piss, cat shit, BO, and like unwashed
stank pussy, like paint. Mandy Summers. No. Her and Mandy Summers should have a stank pussy off.
No interest in anybody mentioned there. No, thank you. Let's move on from all of that grossness.
That's just disgusting. I don't want to think about that in my mind anymore. Speaking of hairy stink pussies, which is EVS's comic books. Sorry, guys. It's an easy joke there.
No, that's his name on the dark web where he gets his crack from. people of questionable gender in a parking lot.
Oh, questionable gender. That's already, that's a guy. Anyone that says I might be a binary gender fluidity.
All I saw was clips from the stream, and I could just see them and the joke ones and everything else. And who takes him seriously anymore?
On his New Year's stream, he said, "I didn't do crack. I just did weed."
Bullshit. That was a fucking crack pipe.
Oh God. Okay. My stomach hurts so bad. I hate fat people. All right. Serious mode. And we are in to my butthole. Welcome to my butthole. All right. Oh. I changed my smoke detector alarm.
Look at that big juicy booty.
Thank you, Tiny.
It's not tiny.
How do you know that? It's in my imagination. Are you a bigot? All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on the Horseman. Welcome to Florespark. So last year at the 2024 MegaCon in Florida, Eric July announced that for his comic book company, the Rippaverse, is that they are going to be doing another character that will be obviously written by Chuck Dixon with art by Joe Bennett, the two guys that brought you guys Alpha Core, which is still currently debated on as the best Rippaverse comics released so far. Those two guys will be doing a vigilante Street Fighter crime hero story. So Chuck Dixon basically said what the Rippaverse really needs is a street level hero. And that's pretty much all we got for the information regarding the Horseman. Then later on, we had the collection of format for the book. The book ended up doing almost as well as the Trinity, honestly. Like, this is the fifth highest, no, sorry, yeah, this is the fifth highest grossing Rippaverse comic so far. So you have, obviously, ISO number 1, then ISO number 2, Alpha Core, then Yaira. This is the fifth one because this one actually took in $860,000 when they did the collection format, which is they don't do the whole big campaign like they did before with the other characters. He was in the collections format and it did very, very well. So I'm pretty sure Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett are happy with their payday. So you guys know me and Professor Savage Dad, we've been critical of the Rippaverse, obviously, but we've also, like, you know, praised it as well. It's been doing some really, really great things. Things are just getting better and better. I would highly recommend you guys go and check out my Rippaveal showcase reaction that I did on the channel. You guys really, really enjoyed it. It's going to be on my main channel if you guys haven't seen it. I basically did a reaction video of going through like all the Rippaveal showcase books that Eric announced in that video. And one of the key ones in there was that the Horseman is actually going to be getting an ongoing series. Wait a minute. Holy crap.
Yeah, definitely deserved.
One more restart.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you?
All right, one more restart. My brain ran it down. All right, let's go. No more restarts. Third time's a charm. I'm eating pussy tonight. All right. That sounds kind of gay. All right. Hey, everyone. I am MSK. I'm black and a nagger. All right. Hold on. I'm a nag. Hold on.
No, God!
No, okay, I'm done entertaining you guys. I'm kidding. Okay, I'll be serious from now on. I'll be serious. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on the Horseman. Welcome to Florespark. So this was a comic book that was announced by Eric July and the Rippaverse at the Florida MegaCon 2024 event. And it is going to be a comic book that is written by Chuck Dixon with art by Joe Bennett, the same guys that did Alpha Core, which is still currently debated on as the best Rippaverse comic books released so far. And basically, long story short, Chuck Dixon basically said he felt like the Rippaverse needs a street hero. And I would have to agree to that, because at that moment in time when this book got announced, we only ever got like the super powered beings, obviously. But also at that current moment in time, we got Salvage PI, which had the 13-page story in the Ribbazine #1, but I saw his point there. And this is currently the 5th highest selling Rippaverse comic books so far, because the original 4 had the big campaign format they used to have, and those had like multi-million dollars attached to them. This one took in $860,000. So pretty sure Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett are very happy with how much money they got paid off of doing this. And if you guys are just watching this, obviously on my comic book channel, on my main YouTube channel, Master Swag King, I did a Rippaveal showcase reaction to the new Rippaverse comic books coming out in 2025, because Eric July has said Rippaverse is going to be releasing books every single month now at this point, because they are a indie comic book publisher. No more waiting the 1 year for a book and waiting another year for a book. No, they are a indie comic book publisher like the other ones, and they are going to be competing with them as well. So in the Rippaveal showcase reaction that I did, you guys know that I was very happy to see that the Horseman is going to be getting an ongoing series. So you're probably going to be like, MSK, what do you mean? Isn't this issue #1? No. This, along with Gooding the Polymath, were written to be one-shots. Eric had mentioned the fact that basically, just ever since the Rippaverse was ever a thing, he basically has to see if there's money there or if the fans actually want it. Because, you know, let's be honest here, I'm not shitting on people. Fans could be like, hey, I want this, and then when they get it, they don't support. So you have to kind of make sure it's like, hey, this is exactly what they want to spend their money on. We're getting another Gooding book, obviously, because, you know, that campaign, even though it didn't do as good as this one, it's
Delta base we're getting.
Yeah, we're getting what, 250K for a Gooding book? Yeah, guys, $250,000 is a lot of money. They're going to be doing another book. But with this one, obviously, it's a no-brainer since it did so well. You're going to be getting a Horseman ongoing series. So this is a one-shot. You'll be getting the Horseman issue #1 later on this year in 2025. That, along with Salvage PI, my most anticipated comic book. And obviously, this was my most anticipated comic book from the Rippaverse. As people know, ever since it was announced, it just looked so cool. And did it live up to my expectations? Good Lord. I'm going to be honest here. This is the best Rippaverse comic book to date so far, by far. I don't know how they're going to do better than this, but this was absolutely just hands down, by far and away, the best comic book they've done so far. Keep in mind, it was done by the 2 guys that brought you Alpha Core as well. Does this pass Alpha Core for me? Sure does. I think Alpha Core is bad. See, my problem with Alpha Core, the only issue I have with it was just the villains. I thought Lillian should have just been the main villain, other than that one weird guy they're giving a solo book to Sylvie for. But other than that, I really enjoyed Alpha Core myself. This book right here is so fucking good. Oh my goodness. I will probably have this on my end of the year list for 2025 as best comic books I read in 2025, not released in 2025, best books I read in 2025. Oh my God, this was great. Like, this pretty much kind of solved most of the problems that I had with the previous other books. Because I would say the problem with the other books is that the way they utilized the villains were just very, very bad. It's not even the fact that they're ultra giga bad. They're more like okay to decent to good at best. But the way they utilized the villains were just really awful. Literally outside of Item #1 with Darian Fontana was the best villain they had so far, you know. And then obviously you had Gooding. Splatterpuss was a decent villain, actually. So outside of like literally just those 2, you have this book's villains. Now, they actually introduced 3 villains in here, and all of them play a very key pivotal role. But I'll ask you before I go more, did you actually like the Horseman? Welcome to Florespark?
Oh, no. I'm right there with you. I think this might be the best outing that they had. Let's see, for me, I liked Gooding the Polymath just about as much as I liked Alpha Core. I thought it was great. I thought Mike Barry did a great job with that. It's probably the most... That one was like, I don't know, people slept on that one a little bit, it felt like, and it really didn't deserve that. It was the most interesting thing they did. It was the best treatment and backstory for like what seems like a major villain that we got. Like, they had some interesting stuff in Alpha Core with the villains, but they weren't great. The coolest villain was the one with that great 2-page spread, the flaming rock dude. Like, he looked interesting and engaging, but you didn't know anything about him, but he looked like a good...
You knew he was just a hillbilly. That's all it was.
Yeah, like a hillbilly assassin, super-powered guy, whatever. I hope we see more of him. It was interesting, but you got 2-3 pages of him engaging with Solari, and then done, like gone out. Like so what I liked about this is, yes, Chuck Dixon developed better villains here. But this is the thing too. This book, this is nothing to, this was the first book that Eric July published that they weren't characters that he came up with.
True.
This is Chuck
and
Joe Bennett's character. They created this. This is theirs. And as far as I understand, they own it. Like, if they for some reason fell out with Eric, it's theirs. Like, they get to, you know, under the imprint, the way Eric works this stuff is like the creatives that work for him kind of get to keep their content. But what I liked is that he was a vigilante more than he was, say, a superhero or a hero. He wasn't a bad guy. I think Ethan at some point tried to say that the Horseman was a degenerate bad guy, he's a villain or some shit. It's like, no, it was a little Robin Hood-y. I don't want to call him an anti-hero because everything's an anti-hero. I don't think he was, I want to know more about his motivation. It seemed it was somewhere across between pissed off about what happened to his brother or brother-in-law and his sister and all that shit, his family, and just using his skill set as a soldier to go out and rob bad people and take their cash. And I'm like, that's fine as a motivation, dude. In all honesty, that's kind of a legit modern day, something of a cross between the Punisher, obviously, is what people are going to get from this. And Chuck Dixon had wrote the Punisher for a minute or two. So
he did,
but it wasn't exactly that. He wasn't just going out there to kill these guys. Like, he would just take their money if he could and leave. But if he had to,
if he had to use lethal force, then he would.
Yep.
So leading up to this book, we got the animated trailer for this book. I'll be honest with you, the animated trailer looked great. Still, I will say that Alpha Core's one is the best one they released so far. But the animated trailer for this looked great. And man, did that trailer perfectly embody what this character was. So there's a little bit of controversy, I guess you say, on Twitter, because everything the Reboot Comics does, which is obviously controversy because they hate Eric for whatever godforsaken reason. So people pointed out in the first part of the book, you know, it was the thing where his hands were crossed like this, and people said he had like 6 fingers or whatever. Oh, guys, I'm just gonna be completely honest here. Comic books are written and drawn by people, and we as people make mistakes. Now, keep in mind what I just said there. It is up to you as the individual to decide whether or not this is a big deal to complain about, or is it not a big deal to just let it go. And I'm not saying you shouldn't criticize a company. That's all I'm saying. But that kind of stuff is so easily fixable. It's not even worth complaining about. I'll give you guys a little side story. There was when I had my bigger YouTube channel back in the day, this guy said, "Hey, you titled this video wrong. I hated it." I'm like, guy, I can literally just go into this YouTube Studio app right now, fix it like that. You know, there's certain problems that are complainable and worthy of complaining, but there's certain problems that are like, it doesn't actually impact any way you read the book. Like, when I saw those mistakes that people said, they weren't even really that bad. It doesn't take away from the reading. People act like there was a black page here. That's crazy. Like, come on, guys. If you're going to complain about something and actually give criticism, make it worthwhile. Make it something like actually that matters in the grand scheme of things. Like, people criticize a page like this, that part. Like, that doesn't even look that, guys, I've seen stuff that looks way worse than that, and doesn't even look that bad. Doesn't look that bad at all. But, it's fine. It's okay.
Like, this is the thing. I loved, let me see if I can get this. Let me get my camera. So I loved the way the art was a lot more consistent than Alpha Core. Like, I believe they just had Jay Brown as the inker. Let me see here. Who was inking?
Oh, they had the one inker. It was Fabio Jensen.
Yeah.
Because on Alpha Core,
Fabio Jensen, and Jay Brown is a colorist.
Yes.
Like, that was the thing that happened in Alpha Core that made things look a little inconsistent, was You had so many different inkers going on, but look at like this here. I have no problems with this art. This looks good. This is good stuff. Like
Joe Bennett always delivers.
2-page. Joe Bennett absolutely delivered. Like this one, this is one of my favorite shots right here, dude, where he's like got the baseball bat out. That was another thing. I had this like Casey Jones vibe from him a little bit. Like he's, like a very street level guy. He's not super powered. He's just some guy who's been trained in the army. So he's, there you go. Like this 2-page spread here. This is great. The snow is going on. Like you feel this page. You can see this. It's cold. He's fighting ninjas and shit. Like this is good. And you can go all the way from here. There's another 2-pager in here, I think. Like you'll hear, check out the villain here. Like the villain looks like this
good old Tuna.
Fat, square-headed crime boss.
I will still give them
so good.
And this is something that I will criticize with the book. And it's not just with this book. The villains' names are like stupid. Tuna as a villain? Come on. We can do better than that. We can do better than that. Tuna, Splatterpuss. We can do better than that.
You know what? It's a little funny. I appreciate the kind of slapstickiness of the street level chunky ass crime boss called Tuna. I mean, let's be fair. Everybody's been clamoring over the Penguin TV show the past few weeks. So, I mean, Tuna, Penguin.
I generally thought that they were going to make Tuna like their Penguin for the universe. I didn't expect them to kill him off that fast.
Yeah, I know. But, like, look at this. So the art from the front with the 2-page spread to this one, another great 2-page spread. These aren't cheap to do either, dude. Like, these are your big money costs for your artists right here. But look at this. This is as consistent and good looking, well colored, well inked, everything as this. The art in this book might be some of the most consistent they've had in Rippaverse as well.
Oh, I found this was the page that people complained about. So it's the one right here where it's the hand thing right there. It's where you if you see it, where my camera's pointed at, it's where it looks like he has 6 fingers. I'll be honest with you guys, even if that's an error, that has no actual impact on the way the book is made anyway. It might have just been a simple mistake. Or
dude,
maybe,
I've seen some of the retarded finger stuff that Ethan has done as well. So let's just say there's not every all people have to
I'll be honest here, if that's all people have to complain about is like the way some fingers look, guys, that can be
do you have anything
fixed.
at all?
Like, I'm not even saying they even need to fix it. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't have any actual impact on how the story progresses, on how the rest of the art in the book is actually very, very good. Literally, it's like single panels are a little bit messed up. That's it.
Yeah.
Is that really what we have to complain about now? That all we got?
So I can see where, like, am I on the long view? I am on the long view. So let's get in on that a little bit here and look at that. So he's got his 2 hands together. Now, what I can see here is right here. You can tell if you look at the inking there, you've got a little bit of shadow, and then you've got a finger from this arm behind there. Now, what I can't see on the other ones is if that's coming through.
Yeah,
so,
that was the problem with it. Yeah,
it is. I mean, yeah, you can't tell. It's definitely, but I'm going to tell you right now, on first read through of this, I didn't spot that. You'd have to go back with a very critical eye because I was so engaged in the story and what was going on that I wasn't. I wasn't interested in being overly analytical of the art.
Yeah. Guys, I'll be honest here. When it comes to art, I'm not even saying that I don't care about good art. If I like an art style, I'll just tell you why I like it. And I'm not an artist, so I couldn't tell you what the best art style is. But I'm not sitting here going like, man, is this character's fingers or wrong? I literally couldn't give 3 shits about some fingers. I don't care.
Go back and look at warts and all, the first prints of Cyberfrog. I'm sorry, that art was dog shit. Period. So he got better over time.
As Savage Dad wants to move forward now, let's go to the story. So what is the story of the book? All right, so Savage Dad is right. Hector, is the main character's name, Hector Calbrero, pretty cool name, is a guy that at one point was in the army, but he had a job where he basically was a fighter in the army, basically doing the stuff he's doing as a vigilante right now as the Horseman. So it feels like in the book, at some point before it, they'll probably maybe tackle this in like hopefully the Horseman #1 later on this year, coming out 2025, which is it felt like he didn't have a purpose after being in the army. And keep in mind, we're gonna be like, yes, that is a very real thing. People that leave the army generally don't know what to do because the army is their entire life ever since they maybe enlisted at like the age of 18 and 20 years old, right? So it felt like he didn't really know what to do with his life at one point, and then he started doing vigilante work because apparently when he was fighting this gang, the gang ended up attacking his sister's family, so they ended up killing her husband, and then she was pregnant at the time, so the kid obviously doesn't grow up with, you know, the brother-in-law, and obviously doesn't grow up with the dad. So he wanted to take care of them because he had no other purpose. He just wanted to make sure his family was taken care of financially. So he started going out and basically beating up drug cartels or drug-related people, and then would take their money and just finance their lifestyle. Now, keep in mind, when I say this here, there's nothing to imply that this character is supposed to be morally good. And also, when I just tell you this, it's a character that's supposed to be, I guess, the envision of like the Punisher, right? Like everyone loves the Punisher, but you know the Punisher guy is not a good guy. Like going up and murdering people isn't a good thing at all. But people kind of let it go because they know he's murdering generally bad people. And a lot of people will agree with that. If you're murdering someone that's literally dealing drugs and pushing meth out there, and, you know, if you get your brains blown out, most people are probably not going to care because, you know, fuck around, find out. So that's his lifestyle right there. He does this. Now, later on in the book, he does another mission. And then after this mission, he ends up getting caught. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. I'm skipping one part. Okay. So he ended up doing a mission in a new place because he felt like they had to leave because the gangs that he was battling in that area were closing in on him, trying to figure out, like, okay, what's he doing? So he did not want to be essentially doxxed, as you kids call it nowadays. He didn't want to get his family doxxed. So he ends up moving to Texas. So he moves to Texas, and on the first night on the job, on this new mission, he doesn't surveillance the area because he even said it's a rookie mistake. I should have did it. Then he gets caught by two detectives, actually. Now, come to find out, these detectives are actually working for Tuna, but there's another twist to it. They are actually going to end up using the money that they have the Horseman get them to finance their lifestyle and keep it away from Tuna. So Tuna thinks, hey, why am I hiring you guys as detectives if you're not going to find out who this is? Keep in mind, they found out who it was. They just didn't tell him because the Horseman is so good at what he's doing. He makes so much money. They want a cut of that. So they're like, hey, you work for us now. We're going to get like a cut of everything you do. And, you know, for villains like that, they're not going to stop until like they have to get rid of him when they feel like they got enough money, or when Tuna catches on later in the book. Tuna catches on to what they're doing somewhat. It's never actually revealed if he did, but he hired another person. He hired that one guy and that white lady that you saw in the trailer. Later on, that those characters play a much later pivotal role to the book. But initially up front, the two detectives that Tuna thought were on his side are the main villains of the book, actually. And then it comes to a point where, you know, he does all these great jobs for them. Then it gets to a point where Tuna gets so angry that this guy is basically, you know, stealing money on his turf, that the detectives that he hired, that he thought was working before him, try to sabotage him, right? So they sabotaged him so bad to the point where he was like, okay, I got to get rid of these guys. But before that, Tuna ends up hiring the white guy and the white lady that look like they are bikers in the trailer, in the animated trailer that you saw. So then also throughout the book, the sister does not know that her brother, let's say brother-in-law? Yeah. No, it'll be your brother. Yeah. The sister does not know her brother is the Horseman. And keep in mind, he's not actually called the Horseman till the very end of the book, actually. She doesn't know he's vigilante. She has a kid. They have a nice relationship with him and his nephew, obviously. So then later on in the book, he sends them away to keep them safe. And then he ends up confronting the detectives in the bowling alley. And then in the scuffle, you know, the detectives are like, okay, we got to take you out because you're getting to be a little bit of a problem here, you know? Yeah. Then the biker lady and her boyfriend join in, and you got Nazi bikers. Like, good Lord. Okay. That was like, oh shit.
Oh, dude, it was
on the nose there.
It was very on the nose, but it's like, okay, I mean, this is a good old stereotypical trope. I mean, I'm fine with that. That's cool. But one of the things that I liked about it is that, like, again, engaging villains. Like, we're gonna probably see these two again because they were accepts. They had powers, and they were good. I mean, good villains. They were interesting. I mean, they're more like
up the
hired
stakes,
thugs.
into the villain. You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Is the detectives that are mostly the main villains of the story. They were like your intro villains. Tuna was like your, I'd say, boss number 2. I would say villain number 2. I would say those were like villains that were the icing on the cake for the story, where when they entered, that means you knew the stakes were at its absolute highest, because when he ends up fighting them, they realize, wait a minute, he doesn't have powers. So the biker guy, the Nazi biker guy, he has he's like Magneto. He has magnetism. Is it as powerful as Magneto? Obviously not. The girl's skin is hard, so if you shot her, the bullets wouldn't do anything. Like, he hit her with a bowling ball, and you hit anyone with a bowling ball, you'll kill that person. That's a deadly weapon. Didn't matter to her. So then he basically is at his end. He's about to end up getting killed by both of them. And guess who shows up to save Mr. Hector? Braxwell. Yeah, Braxwell. Alpha Core. Yeah. Braxwell ends up saving Hector. And then you obviously had Alpha Core taking care of, you know, the villains that he was taking care of. Later on, they basically tell him, hey, well, Brian Solari does this. He basically says, hey, no more vigilante work. Your time's over. And Hector goes, okay. And then at the end of the book, he's like, you know what? For now, it's over. But as you guys know, since we know there's a Horseman #1 coming out, that's obviously not that he's going to be the Horseman again. And then also in the middle of this, Tuna ends up dying. And you're probably like, how did he die? Well, the villains of Alpha Core #1, obviously, as you guys don't know this, if you didn't notice at all, they could actually control people with their minds, and that will start with their eyes, obviously. I'm pretty sure Lillian can. I'm not sure what the other guy can do as well. But Lillian and her partner basically convinced Tuna to drown himself. So they end up, they don't obviously like someone crouching in on their territory, but it's not crouching on territory like other joke stories. No, here's a kick it with Tuna. There's always a bigger fish to fry. There you go. A little bit of a banger joke right there. But I'll say throughout the book, you know, the action was very good. The pacing was great. The dialogue was engaging. The art was good. That was just like, this was, to me, their best paced book. And what I mean by that is a lot of the Riververse comics, there's definitely some pacing issues there. And keep in mind, since this it's just starting out from 2022, there's going to be some pacing issues there. Like, I even like some of the books, and I even told you guys I don't hate them. I don't think they're that bad. Except like one of them that I didn't really care for all that much. But the pacing issues are definitely a thing. But I didn't feel like this book had really any pacing issues at all. When I was reading this, I shit you not, I was engaged the entire time. I didn't want it to end when it was over. I was like, no, is there more? Can I get more of this? This is fucking great.
Not the same vibe as Dean Cain All-American Lawman, but I really felt like the characters, like, I don't know what it was about Alpha Core. I don't think Chuck Dixon had a hard time with it. My problem with it was more the art, but my memories of reading Chuck Dixon books, his best work is usually vigilante stuff, and the stuff where it's you've got like a single main guy. He's like the guy. I haven't read a lot of Chuck Dixon working on team books before, so Alpha Core might be a little different than his normal vibe. But this is Chuck Dixon bread and butter right here. This is, I wouldn't say vintage Chuck Dixon, but this is the shit. You can tell that Chuck Dixon knows this kind of hero. He knows this kind of story, and he really brought it home very well. And Joe Bennett with the,
you know, when you said art, the last cover page. Look at this last cover page. This last cover page. Why was this not a cover? Why was this not a cover?
I know, right?
This is so good. That was amazing. Was so good. Last cover page was great.
Yeah, the whole thing was so good.
Oh, also, Brian Solari proves to still be the best character in the Rippaverse by far, actually. What an awesome character we've seen just develop over these last few books. And the only other thing that I want to mention when it comes to like the action is it's all super detailed. There was a part where the detectives and Tuna, like, one of them set him up in the like second act of the book to go into the third act. The action was so good, so detailed. You can see where the bullets were landing, where they were hitting. Oh my goodness, just there's so much I could say about how awesome this book actually was. You had basically a story of a guy being a vigilante, moving his family, getting mixed up with the wrong people because he didn't do his due diligence of, actually surveillancing the area. And that was another thing for character development, because people said there's a small criticism that he didn't actually develop in the book. Wrong. In the part I just told you, the part where he didn't surveillance the area and those two bad detectives tried to basically, make a partnership with him to get his money so they don't tell on him. What did he do at the end of the book? Oh, he surveillanced the bowling area to trap them. Yeah, that's called actual character development. That's what it is.
Yeah,
he got better at being a vigilante through the actual book. That's called progression. That's what the characters need.
And I didn't get the vibe from the beginning of the book that he had necessarily been at this for like ever.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say that like he's, a well-seasoned veteran, vigilante of some sort where he's really great at this. He just came off as a guy who probably somewhat recently decided to take on doing this kind of shit for his family.
Yep. And, at the end of the book, he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll just go work at like a packaging company. But let's be honest here. He'll probably end up doing that in the Horseman #1. And he'll probably just be like, you know what? I see some bad guys.
Or some shit will happen, or who knows. Yeah. I'm really hoping.
Great, awesome end page right now. Oh, sorry. A great, awesome end page when the book's over and he's thinking about what Brian said. And he's like, you know what? I'll retire Horseman for now a little bit. Awesome ending page right there. And what's crazy about the Rippaverse books, the ad placements have improved throughout the books. I literally said, just put all that shit in the back of the book. I don't need to have an ad placement when I'm mid-reading a book. Ad placements are better. You have Bloodruth coming up next. I don't know about Bloodruth #1. I bought it already, but the thing is, like, Bloodruth wasn't that interesting of a character in ISO #2. But hey, maybe Jen and Sylvie can convince me otherwise to give my money to more of these books that come out. And Jen and Sylvie, obviously, they're really, really, really decent, good, hot, attractive-looking older women that are basically MILFs. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. So you have the Ripazine ad. You have all basically a lot of the ads here. But man, Eric, what's wrong with you? Why is this on a cover? That's great. And another thing to bring up when it comes to these like indie books that people have been talking about constantly, and it's going to relate back to the Horseman too, guys. This was done with quality work in no time. You can do a quality job on time. You know.
See, what's more about this? Like I was saying a little earlier, while you had to take a break. Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett basically came up with this after Alpha Core. Like Chuck Dixon mentioned this potentially being a thing on Ask Chuck Dixon, his YouTube channel or his YouTube show that he does. And he said, Joe Bennett and I had an idea of, what would it look like for a street level vigilante to be in the Rippaverse or in Florespark. This from like concept to book is probably the quickest thing that they've turned around in the Rippaverse. Like maybe it was probably just a few months, maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months. I don't remember exactly. From Chuck Dixon mentioning that him and Joe had been working on a character till this got revealed. And then from the reveal to the launch was like, what, 6 months or so? And then, what was it, like 3 months after the launch or 2 months after the launch? It's in our hand. We have it. Like that's from initial concept to turnaround to being out, published in people's hands, and looking at an ongoing because of the success of this and animations and other people involved with it, like a year. Like, what was it? Rainbow the Brute was conceptualized in like 2017. Let's just all remember that. McQuality. That book will come out. That book will never come out because it will never be as good as the weight that we have sat on in order to actually get it. That's why I don't think it'll ever come out, because it'll never be good enough to... Ethan, I don't think is going to put anything out anymore. Like why I said I think he's basically done and we don't see books from him anymore is because he will have to be criticized when it comes out, and it isn't great. It's just
the other thing I wanted to mention when it comes to like Chuck Dixon is, I'll be honest with you guys, I've liked a lot of the stuff he's wrote. I know people said him and Mike haven't been writing good stuff as they got older. Guys, keep this in mind. This is all subjective. If you think they got worse with age, that's okay. That's your opinion. But I think based off the books that I've read from them so far, they're fine. They're great.
Mike Barron's stuff was Barron's Gooding
Gooding was good. Yeah. But you know what's hard about Gooding? Gooding's like, just not that interesting of a character. It's hard to make that character work. He had to go the prequel route to make him work, you know?
Well, that's the thing. I think Mike Barron did a really good job with it. I found the character and the motivations for Gooding to be interesting. I liked it. I mean, it's right up here with this as far as I'm concerned. Those are my two favorite. Horseman and Gooding are my two favorite Rippaverse characters so far. I'm looking forward to seeing Delta Base. Looking forward to seeing this continue. Like I want to see what they've got. We got
to do a video on the Rippaveal showcase next week after the Transformer review. Yeah. So I'll get your final thoughts and opinions on the Horseman. Welcome to Florespark. You enjoyed it. It's got a certified banger stamp of approval. Hell yeah.
It was absolutely great. Like I loved it. It was, what I was hoping I was going to get out of a street level vigilante. Not necessarily a hero, definitely not a villain.
Morally gray area.
Vigilante. Yeah. And that's what we were looking for. And this is, what Chuck Dixon knows. Great stuff, dude. It, and given that Marvel Comics has basically abandoned the Punisher, there's, who do you have? Where do you have a street level like vigilante, bad guy, killer, pissed off? Like you don't have that character's vibe anywhere else currently. So it's good to see it back. I love the Punisher stuff. Was always a fan of the concept of the Punisher. I know
you'll be heartbroken at what they did now to the Punisher. Like, oh my god, it's so
bad.
No,
I know what they did. I don't fucking care. Dude, this is you want to know why I'll buy a DC compendium, but I don't buy shit from Marvel because Marvel hates their characters. They hate Peter Parker every bit as much as they hated Frank Castle.
We'll go into that in the next topic, actually. Oh, good lord. But as you guys know, for me, my final thoughts and opinions on the Horseman. Welcome to Florespark. This is the best Rippaverse comic book released so far. For me, this ranks as number 1. And later on in one of these episodes that we do, we're going to do a ranking of the actual books, seeing where we're going to actually probably maybe a ranking or a tier list. One of them, obviously. We'll definitely be doing that. But yeah, Chuck Dixon, Joe Bennett, another banger from them. Absolutely just put together man, this is I wouldn't say it's up there with Robots in the Skies, obviously, Volume 1, but it would definitely be there for like best books I've read in a while, actually. Chuck Dixon, Joe Bennett, another certified banger out of them from the Rippaverse. So
yeah, great job.
Yeah, God, good job, guys. Pacing, dialogue, action, everything's good in here. I would say if you want to pick up a Rippaverse comic to kind of test the waters to see if it's a company you want to buy books from, this is the book I would recommend to everybody to buy. This one right here. This is up your alley. If you like the Punisher, then Mr. Hector Caballero is your guy. All right, so thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live in your mom's ass. I'm kidding. Guys, I'm kidding. I'm Master Swag King, and we're signing out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace. Am I black? Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. I can also edit that part out. It's not that hard. The power of editing and magic.
Can he, though?
But will I edit it out, though? That's the key. I might just leave it in. I'll take care of it later. All right. All right, give me 1 second here. Let me put this book up in my. I'm gonna put this book up in
movie
my
sauce
that I've read. Movie thoughts. Let me get the next topic
Booty
ready. Booty sauce.
Oh God.
Don't you love ass booty juice?
I thought you were going to say Zeb Wells. No.
Zeb Wells is the best comic book writer of all time.
Zeb Wells is a drug addict.
Zeb Wells is better than Frank Miller.
Your mom is better than Frank Miller.
My mom's not alive, so it'd be pretty hard. What did I do with my Spider-Man book that I read? Maybe I chucked it in the garbage. I don't know.
Probably a good idea. That's what I would do with the Zeb Wells book.
Should I get you and your kids? Should I get you and your kids Zeb Wells comics for Christmas?
Nah, I can live without that. No thanks. Same with J. Michael Straczynski, or who else can you throw in a trash can?
Okay,
Dan Slott.
I found the Transformer book. I found it.
Transframmers.
Transfammers. I'm sorry, guys. I'm standing up during the show. I legit can't find my Amazing Spider-Man book that I read and reviewed.
Oh, it's because it was so bad, it collapsed in on itself.
Sir, you have to be open-minded to reading stuff. I can't find it right now, but it won't matter.
No, we can just say that Zeb Wells sucked and his run was butt sauce, and like that's the whole thing. Let's wrap it all up in that. Like we could end it right there. Zeb Wells' Spider-Man run is booty juice.
What do you mean? What's booty juice?
Smells like butthole. That was his whole run.
How much of it did you get through? Oh, no. How much of it did you actually get through?
Oh, not much. I stopped. Eventually, I just gave up. Dude, I gave up on Marvel and the shit that DC was putting out, but mostly, when DC went New 52, I dropped all of my DC stuff and I was done with it. Marvel managed to. I was so white-pilled on Spider-Man for so long. I tried and hoped that they would stop hating him, that they would stop just making everything about the book's ass. And they never did. They just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Yeah. I have no faith in Marvel to not just fuck over their characters. And then the shit they did with Wolverine, where they had Jean Grey basically cucking him and Cyclops at the same time. Ugh. Just done. Just done with it. I don't care anymore.
Oh God. You just sound like such a disappointed dad.
I was a big Marvel person. The only reason I don't give a shit about Marvel really much at all anymore is because they made me stop caring about the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even the writers, because writers would come and go. It was an editorial edict of hatred for Spider-Man and Peter Parker. That was kind of the last straw for me. I just got done with it. And then I would reflect back on the years of just obvious hatred for the character. It frustrated the hell out of me, and I just was so tired of it.
Yeah. Okay, give me 1 sec here. I'm also gonna bring it up right now. Okay. Spider-Man going up against one-on-one with the count and all his bad guys. Give me 1 sec. Okay, should we go over that one? I mean, probably best to do Marvel's actual article they put out on their own website, but they're gonna be fucking smoking shit up their own ass. Okay, let me skim through this article really quickly to see if it's the one we need. But yeah, good lord, why are people so invested in CG still? Like, if I think the reason why they still are invested as hard is because they realize that if they don't have this, they have nothing because they have nothing else in their life planned that has any actual merit to it. You know, because didn't that guy, your boy Zach, say that he talked to people about Comicsgate in real life and no one knew what it was? Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what Cyberfrog is. If you went to a comic book store this weekend and talk to people about Cyberfrog, they probably won't know what that is either. Like it's not a overly huge, overly known, overly like thought about thing. It's
give me one sec, guys. I'm trying to find this right now. Give me one moment. We're almost done. I know Savage Dad wants to be with me, like all women do.
Pourquoi?
Tiny said that was the best man she ever had in her entire life. Obviously, this was real.
Is Tiny in the chat? I wouldn't believe anything if Tiny's not in the chat. She's got to come into the chat and tell me.
You're saying you only believe Jew women, sir?
No. I believe hot women.
Wait a minute.
Believe
She's
all
hot?
hot women. This is a new thing to do. Yeah,
Tiny's hot.
Adorable.
She's all right. She's 40.
So, I'm 42, dude, and she's not 40. She's full of shit. She's not as old as me.
She said she's 40. I mean,
yeah.
Oh God.
She's just trying to sound more mature. She's 31, and we all know it.
Oh my God. Good Lord. I told Tiny, stop being old at this point. Okay.
She's not old though. It's all been a lie, bro. I'm telling you.
Give me
a straight up lie.
Okay. I'm pretty sure this will be the one we're gonna use. No. Oh, good Lord. That's
what she said.
Oh my God. It's so big.
Not what she said at all.
I'm gonna just go back to this other one. We can use this one because this is the one that you'll be able to. Okay, yeah, we'll use this one actually.
You got it?
Yeah, it's better. Because this is like you want the one article that goes ham on Marvel, talking the most maddest shit.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Or you want the one that is like more of a corporate one.
I don't know. Do you want to make fun of the corporate one?
Shit. I mean, this one from Bleeding Fool is actually pretty funny.
On Marvel for being shitty.
Is Tiny in your imagination? I never fantasize about Tiny ever. I'm not a weirdo like you guys are.
Who fantasizes? Who needs to do that?
Well, sorry, sir.
For that kind of shit.
We're not sitting here with wives, sir.
I'm also old. I don't, you know.
You're like 40.
Get over it. 42. Almost 43.
No. The reason why age hurts women more is because obviously they look worse with age. It's just what it is.
Depends, dude. Selma Hayek lives in fucking abject disapproval of that idea. Like, not all women. Some, but not all.
We'll use this one, actually. Because I'll just do the same commentary that I would have given for the other article on this one. Okay, close. Oh my God, what are all these ads? Oh my Lord.
Why do you have so many ads?
I mean, these websites just need ads? What are these? Oh, good Lord. Too many ads. Too many ads.
Too many ads on the dance floor?
I need to get ad blocker eventually.
Too many ads. Too many ads on the dance floor.
Is Nate in the chat?
I don't know. Is he?
I think I saw Nate.
What's up, Nate?
I think I saw Nate. Yeah. Hi, Nate. Nate says that's false. What? You guys are insane.
It is. Nate knows it's false. I'm not sure which falsehood Nate is currently addressing, but we'll just go with all of them.
Wait, falsehood? What are you talking about? All right. Oh, goodness gracious. We're gonna
Whip
be
it out.
getting in.
Do it to something. I don't know. What?
All right, now we're ready. We're ready to go.
Ukijuki.
In my butthole, it will be explored by P. Diddy and LeBron James later. Can't wait to stop.
We know.
On Diddy's meat.
We know.
I'm agreeing with Whitey. It's false. Nate is greater than MSK. That's a lie. That is a lie. That is just it never happened.
I'd need a little more evidence one way or the other. We'll have to see. It's entirely possible.
Good gosh. Okay, so let's go. Oh, before we go, what are the two Spider-Man stories? No, I was saying, what are the two Spider-Man stories? I remember it was One More Day, right? It's One More Day and Brand New Day that pretty much ruined him. From what I remember, it was One More Day that started. It was the deal with Mephisto to keep Ant-Man alive. That's One More Day. Okay. And and what was the story after that? It was after that where it completely never went same. It was Brand New Day. Because I get all the brand new, I get all the news, day stories differently.
It was not terribly creative, but none of it was terribly creative. It was all kind of a shit show.
Okay, let me type in. I don't want to talk out my ass. Yeah. I know what the stories are. I kind of glanced.
Talk in your ass.
Oh, that sounds hot. One More Day. Also, yeah, J. Michael Straczynski did One More Day. Now I remember.
Mm-hmm. Let me J. Michael Straczynski.
So what is One More Day sequel? So okay, so it's Brand New Day. Yeah, so after One More Day, it's Brand New Day. Yeah. I knew it. I just want to make sure we just say I didn't want to say the wrong thing. Good lord. Okay. James says depends fully on the group. What the hell? D&D is for literal losers. What are you talking about?
Is James back from Korea again?
He's been back forever. How have you not noticed this?
I thought he went back again.
Said he hated it over there. Holy crap, man.
That's just because he's secretly a member of the Korean mob.
James had to create a new name. I see the feds are on his ass.
They're coming for him.
John Johnson
Beezus, for all the wrong reasons.
John Johnson Beezus, aka J Biddy. Oh shit! Fuck me, God. Oh my God, man.
And that's what James. That's why James started having those parties.
You know what? I'll use Bleeding Fool. It's better than using Bleeding Cool for this one. Has to be. Sugarcoating news. So then, okay, so we have based on gushing Thomas Polygon sent. I'm just trying to make sure the articles I'm going to bring up are going to be pretty good. I mean,
hopefully.
Renew Your Vows was great. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, we'll go over it with this one. It's fine. Because quality, it waits for no man. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the amazing Spider-Man Marvel Comics series. So Spider-Man is one of, if not the most popular and greatest superheroes of all time. Now, if you look at the actual Spider-Man movies, you'd be like, damn, this guy in the comic books must be the biggest Chad ever. He actually is and was until a story which was written by J. Michael Straczynski called One More Day. Basically, long story short, Peter Parker made a deal with Mephisto to keep his Aunt May alive. But there was a catch to it. You must give up your marriage to Mary Jane. Now, I will be fair here. There was a story that Marvel created in my butthole. Oh my goodness. Big niggas. Okay. All right. I'm alive. Give me the smoke detector.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Give me the beep. Hell yeah. See? It's true. In my butt, sucking on Diddy's meat. Oh, that was really gay. That was
Emotional damage.
Yep. I never said that. That never happened. That's one.
I have cocks.
In my butt. All right. Let's have some fun. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Amazing Spider-Man Marvel Comics series that now is going to be getting a new issue 1 reboot coming up later out in 2025. So for those of you who have just basically been interested in Spider-Man as far as like the video games and the movies, Spider-Man's actual comic history, it's not like it's really complicated. It's just gone through a lot of peaks and a lot of, you know, stagnant points. And it's also gone through a lot of down points too. So basically, a lot of people would kind of point this into the direction of the Clone Saga. That was not very popular. A lot of people, you know, didn't really like One More Day, which was a book written by J. Michael Straczynski. So basically, long story short with that one is Peter Parker was married to Mary Jane. Aunt May gets hurt or sick or whatever, and he makes a deal with Mephisto to keep Aunt May alive for a few more months. The cost is he must give up his marriage to Mary Jane. And then there was a sequel series to that called, I think, Brand New Day, which basically just shattered on any of the continuity that you had been reading up to that point. He's out there like in clubs hooking up with broads like Charlie Sheen, who plays Charlie Harper in 2.5 Men. It's crazy shit. Now keep in mind, I've only ever like watched these. I've only ever learned about these stories like YouTube videos back in the day. I haven't read the stories. I'm just being honest. I haven't read the stories yet, but this is common stuff I've heard about these stories throughout the years. But at one point in Marvel Comics history, Peter Parker was married to Mary Jane and they had a daughter and she inherited spider powers. And I know a lot of people credit like Jonathan Hickman for doing the whole family thing with Spider-Man. It's like, no, he wasn't the first. There is a story out there where it's Peter Parker's daughter is Spider-Woman while he's married to Mary Jane. The reason why Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man comic book series hit as hard as it did is because fans are literally so tired of Peter Parker going from the guy that can't get it right to actually finally getting the girl, everything he wants, only to just lose it all. Even if you're not a comic book fan, I'll even give you an example of this. Spider-Man No Way Home. What happened in that movie? He lost his aunt. He lost his girlfriend. He lost his best friend. Everyone doesn't remember him. Okay?
Yep.
And also, ever since he came into the MCU, just Tom Holland's version, he lost Tony Stark. Okay? He obviously just was constantly losing things through movies. Like, and now we're at the point in No Way Home, when it's over, you're like, he's got nothing. Same thing has happened in the comic books with Peter. So recently, you guys know that I read The Amazing Spider-Man World Without Love, Volume 1. Now, keep in mind, I actually didn't hate reading it. I thought it was a fine read. Now, keep in mind, I haven't read all the issues. There's 60 issues of the series. I only read the first 5. It wasn't that bad. It was actually fine, if I'm being honest here. But the big problem that I have with the book that I highlighted in my review was the way that Zeb Wells wrote Peter Parker. His Spider-Man writing was good. The Spider-Man actually was great. The Peter Parker is the problem. So if you guys haven't watched my review, I'm just going to spoil it right here. Well, to be fair, you'll be watching it in the comic channel anyway, but nevertheless. Peter is calling Mary Jane. She has kids. Now, keep in mind, he doesn't know at this point in the series that I've read that she has kids, but keep in mind, you as the reader know that. So you as the reader know she has kids. She's with someone. Why in the holy shit? Why the fuck did Zeb Wells write that Peter Parker is calling a married woman, or even if she's with this guy or whatever, to break up their happy home? Why can't Peter just get with Black Cat? Why can't he just get on rooftops and lick her fucking wet, hairy kitty pussy for like hours? Why? Why is Peter
Because
doing this? This is ridiculous.
They're never going to put him with Mary Jane.
You're gonna write a story. If you're gonna write a story where she moves on, cool. Why can't he be happy too? Can he move on without her? I don't even care if he's with her. Give him someone else. That's my
they wouldn't do that. They would never make him happy. That's the thing. That was kind of, I mean, you know, they've said flat out that he can't be with Mary Jane, and that's enough to kind of just keep. In all honesty, with all the shit that they've always done, after I saw that Marvel editorials like, oh, they can be friends, but they can never be together. That is a massive go fuck yourself to everyone who grew up reading Spider-Man and Mary Jane like myself. It's like, you know what? Good. Then I don't need to buy Marvel.
We're gonna touch on that. Actually, you know what's crazy? We'll like lightly touch on that. That's another thing for another video. But just to pretty much go over what he just said, Marvel's editorial team, I think it was Nick Lowe. That's the editor right now for the Spider-Man comics.
He is Lowe.
He basically put on an interview where he basically said, Mary Jane and Peter Parker, if you wanted them to get married and have kids, like basically in that other Ultimate Spider-Man comic book series, yeah, you're not getting that. He said it's more challenging to write stories when they're not together than they're with together. It's like, okay. Even if that's the logic,
Jonathan Hickman's doing it.
Even if that's the logic, why can't he be happy with someone else then? Why?
Yeah.
Why can't he get another girl? Why is it that? Okay, so I can't be with Mary Jane. I just can't get no bitches then. What in the fuck? Holy shit, Marvel! Fuck! What logic is that? That's the worst logic ever.
They hate him.
Okay?
That's the logic.
You can't have this bitch. And in the Zeb Wells series, it doesn't make sense for Peter to have her because she has 2 kids with another guy. Like, I don't want Peter breaking up a happy home. Give him another girl. Now, and keep in mind, when I'm saying this, guys, I haven't read all the run yet. I only read the first 5 issues. I liked the book. This is like my biggest problem.
She has 2 kids. Are those her kids or are they his?
It could be.
I don't think that they're her kids. They would have said something about Mary Jane being pregnant from another dude. Marvel wouldn't have missed the chance to cuck Peter Parker even further by having it come out that some other guy literally knocked her up. Those were like,
you know what's crazy in that book? They didn't even cuck Peter as hard. They cucked her boyfriend or her man. So you know how he can't ever get it right and he can't pay his bills? There's a part in the book where the bill collector is there to like get paid. What this guy does, I think his name is Dan or whatever, fucking Zeb Wells' bitch cuck boy, he pays half of Peter's bills. Keep in mind, this is someone that is calling someone's wife or girlfriend, mother of their kids, bothering them, and then the stepdad, and then the husband is like, you know what? I'll sit there and I'll pay his bills. I have never in my life seen the level of cuckery that is. If a guy is messaging my wife or girlfriend, I am not going to pay his bills. What in the fucking hell is that?
What they're trying to do is they're trying to basically make it super platonic between. They're trying to erase any remnant of an idea that Peter and Mary Jane were ever.
It's just Peter. The Spider-Man stuff he wrote was fine. The actual Spider-Man stuff Zeb Wells had him do in the first volume that I read. Come on, my emphasize. I only read the first volume. Spider-Man stuff was great. He was quipping. The action was good. The dialogue is fine. He's still being Spider-Man. Why is it just? It's just the Peter Parker stuff that is just. He was such an ass. He was such a dick in this book too. Keep in mind, I liked what I read. It was just the Peter Parker stuff was just so glaringly bad. You know. So, as you guys know, for the Amazing Spider-Man comic series, this is how you know Marvel is such retards. That book, that series, given how bad it could be in a lot of people's personal perceptions and word of mouth, it'll never fall out of like the top 10. Keep in mind, in this, we doing this video on the MSK show. We've been looking at the numbers for the ICV2 charts for Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man, given how bad it could be as a series, is never out of the top 10. They're rebooting Amazing Spider-Man for no reason. You could just get a new creative team, which they're going to do anyway. I don't get it. It's not out of the top 10. It's still a top 10 seller because Marvel comic fans, I'm not trying to be mean to you guys. You guys just love getting fisted in the ass. But I know most of you guys are only collecting it because it's just like for collecting purposes. You like having all the issues in order. You like having all of the run, which is fine. But like, were you rebooting here? You're rebooting for a #1 sales spike in a series that doesn't need it. This is so stupid. Yeah. I want to make sure I emphasize more. They're rebooting a series that is constantly in top 10. How much better is that going to get you? There's nothing else there. You already have the top spot. This is worthless. Makes no sense to do. Like, I don't get it. I truly just might hang myself after the decisions that these people make in the industry. It's actually just so mind-blowingly stupid. Holy crap. But here is the information that we can go over, obviously. So, oh, sorry, guys. 1 second here on the video.
Bringing it up.
It was having some technical difficulties.
John Ramada Jr. is
okay. So
that's a nice get. He's done Spider-Man a lot too.
Yeah, good lord. Okay, so John. Oh my goodness. It's okay. It's all good.
Don't get there.
I was getting there, man. Are you gonna make love to me? I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. All right. Joe Kelly, Pepe Larraz, and John Romita Jr. relaunch Amazing Spider-Man #1. Joe Kelly, Pepe Larraz, and John Romita Jr. relaunch Amazing Spider-Man #1 in April with fresh storytelling. Bro, this is going to be the same shit over. Peter Parker can't get it right, can't get the girl, can't pay his bills.
Oh, yeah, it isn't up to them. Joe Kelly has worked on Spider-Man before. This isn't his first go-round. He was part of a triumvirate of writers there when Dan Slott needed a break from sucking so hard, so he would spread it around. Spider-Man is so strictly contained by Marvel editorial that I have no hope that even a writer I used to love like Joe Kelly is going to have any impact. When people from editorial are making edicts like Mary Jane and Peter Parker and Spider-Man, whatever, will never be together, you know that Joe Kelly's influence is about that big, and any other writer they put on it is about that big. This is an editorial edict to basically shit on Spider-Man, and it's so intensely scrutinized anymore. Anything that they do with them, that you're reading a book that's written by editors and committee and scripted by Joe Kelly.
And keep in mind, Joe Kelly was the guy that became famous off of writing Deadpool. But if you're looking at his recent Deadpool series that we read and reviewed on the channel, that left a lot to be desired, for being honest here. And keep in mind, this again, I think an ongoing series too. He's going to be on this book for at least like 3 years. He's not going to be on this book for like a year. He's going to be on here for a while. So
it's another
hopefully he can breathe some new light into the title. Yeah. Like John Romita Jr.'s art is fine. I don't hate it like other people do. I think it's just fine.
That's great.
It's fine. Peter Parker faces new challenges, a job search, and battling a new sinister spider villain conspiracy. Iconic Marvel artists explore Peter's world, emphasizing relatable depth and vibrant action-packed visuals. Explore bold, unexpected Spider-Man adventures with a reimagined Norman Osborn and new characters. Oh, yeah, the Norman Osborn, they're going to hope he better not be black. He wasn't black in Zeb Wells' first 5 issues. He better not be black later on. And he better not be black in this. Good Lord. Joe Kelly is the man who made Deadpool into the superhero he is today. Pepe Larraz is one of the best superhero artists in the world, with House of X and Blood Hunt recently on his bed notches. What a weird thing to say. And John Romita Jr. is the co-creator of Kick-Ass and is one of the longest standing artists on Spider-Man, X-Men, Daredevil, and so much more across over 40 years, including the last 5 years with the departed Zeb Wells. Together, they are relaunching the ongoing Amazing Spider-Man comic from Marvel in April. I wonder if they'll have Peter Parker marry Mary Jane Watson. Oh, no, you're
bullshit.
Too much.
The editors have already said that that's not happening, so they might as well all get over that fucking silly idea.
That is literally not happening because for some reason Marvel just doesn't like this guy. They want him to be perpetually unhappy, like they are with their lives.
Much.
Yeah. Lord, bed notches. What the fuck? Who writes this stuff, man? We're literally reading stuff from mentally deranged weirdos at this point.
Pretty much. That's what we have.
Marvel Comics history is made this April with the launch of a new volume of its most iconic title, Amazing Spider-Man, which doesn't need a guys, This doesn't need a number 1. It's constantly in the top 10, could be in the top 5 most months. This is stupid. This might be the dumbest thing I've seen them do in a long time. They're rebooting something that doesn't even need the boost. I don't get it. The next era of the beloved series will be brought to you by celebrated Amazing Spider-Man and Deadpool scribe Joe Kelly, legendary Spider-Man artist John Romita Jr., and one of the industry's most acclaimed contemporary artist Pepe Larraz, fresh off his exemplary work on Blood Hunt and X-Men. The new Amazing Spider-Man will deliver classic Spidey storytelling with bold new horizons for Spider-Man. His supporting cast, including the recently redeemed Norman Osborn. Oh, yeah, because that's obviously great. Yeah, we want to read Spider-Man comics, just not see him be Green Goblin. Yeah, it's so fun, so interesting, you stupid fucking retards. And Peter Parker's new girlfriend, Shay. Oh, Lord, I bet she's black and talks about BLM bullshit. And the greatest super villains in all of pop culture. The new run finds Peter without a job. Man, so innovative. Haven't seen that 1,000 times in a row. And looking for gainful employment, but his job search is interrupted by a rampaging rhino who is but the tip of a sinister iceberg. Who could the villains be later on in this? Sinister. What major Spider-Man villain is working behind the scenes, weaponizing other Spider villains, including one we haven't seen in over 70 years? Also, what is that Green Goblin free Norman Osborn up to these days?
I don't want to know.
Now they're just saying random shit just to make sure people buy this book, which literally doesn't need to happen. Even though this is a new number 1, I don't think of it as a restart per se, Kelly explained to Polygon.
I mean, it isn't a restart unless you shit on continuity. It just makes no sense. You're re-number 1ing the book simply to make money. Nobody cares about number 1s anymore. They sell more because stores buy them, but people don't. And actually, it's funny, like you were talking about earlier with the stores for sales. I was thinking about this. When you actually go into the store and you look and see what actually is available on the shelf, even if something's outselling Ultimate Spider-Man, when I go to the comic shop to find Ultimate Spider-Man, it's not on the shelves. Even 12 issues in, it's sold out. Plenty of other Spider-Man for you to get, though. The mainline shit is all there.
Oh, remember those Miles Morales comic books that everyone... Remember that character, Miles Morales, they keep trying pushing on people? Yeah, those comics don't sell. He's never a top 10 anything. Top 20, top 30, and nothing. No one buys Miles Morales comic books.
Don't buy those.
Even his own fans don't buy his comics. Actually, that's how you know that character's only popular for games and movies. Also, this is why this is so stupid. So Joe Kelly basically just, what's that old saying back in the, he gave the game away? So he says it right here. He's not even thinking it as a restart. Then why are we rebooting to number 1 then? If it's not a restart,
it doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. I'm writing the next chapter of the story of one of the world's greatest characters, lucky enough to follow in the footsteps of the folks before me. After that sinks in, I spend a lot of time thinking about what I love about Spider-Man and his cast, what stories resonated with me at different times of my life, and how I can synthesize all of that into something that works with what came before, but breaks new ground. I feel a drive to take bold, unexpected swings in order to see how Spider-Man deals with Marvel-sized curveballs. Pressure makes diamonds.
Can be unburdened by what has been.
So, all right. Sounds like a movie quote. It's like, I can't be burdened by what has been. I must forge forward. What are you talking about, Joe? You're writing a fucking comic book. This ain't like a battleground. What are you talking about, you moron? The most important part of Spider-Man that I wanted to portray accurately is Peter. Well, I'll be a better way than what Zeb Wells has. Larraz added, of course, I can talk about drawing a believable New York. I shot hundreds of pictures of details of the city for reference, or how I focused on drawing the flow of Spidey's movement and speed in a way closer to animation than comics. But I think Spider-Man comics work because we care about Peter and his world, so that was my main focus, to draw a Peter that you instantly recognize and empathize with. I don't think we could get Joe for a substantial run of Amazing Spider-Man. Spider editor Nick Lowe said he's always busy with animation and television and movies, so he usually just dips in and out of comics. That's why we tapped him for the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. He was doing so great, so when he asked if we'd consider him for being the ongoing writer, I felt like I won the lottery, and Pepe Larraz's masterful and supersonic talent to the equation, and we knew we had the makings of an instant classic. Then John Romita Jr. agreed to stay on. Fireworks went off. Oh yeah, gay butt sex probably. I better go buy some lottery tickets. Well, that just sounded so gay. This man said fireworks went off after he got them all together. I know what that means in Hollywood.
Oosh.
Means Diddy party.
It's
this is so stupid. This is actually one of the dumbest fucking things.
They could put Todd McFarlane on Spider-Man with Jeff Loeb writing or some shit, and I still wouldn't care. Marvel hates him. Why Ultimate Spider-Man exists, which is like a love note to Spider-Man fans of old, of my particular age group, the kind of people who are going to come out and buy it. It's like, hey, look, this is what you used to like about Spider-Man. This is where Spider-Man would have gone if they wouldn't have basically started fucking him during and a lot more thoroughly after the Clone Saga. This isn't new. This is decades of tearing Spider-Man down. It's, you know, I don't know who they could put on that I would give 2 wet shits about being there as the writer for it.
Well, it's the other thing of like
the editors.
Nick Lowe is the reason why Peter is the way he is in Zeb Wells' comic book run, I would imagine, right? Because the more I dip into that run, I'll probably find more things that I don't like. But guys, Zeb Wells' run is not liked by a lot of people. I mean, it's very few people that even enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first volume, but keep in mind, that's just the first volume, and I already had massive issues with how they portrayed Peter Parker. I can only imagine it gets worse as it goes on, or it could get better. I don't know. I have to read and find out. But this is just stupid. This is cynical for no reason, because the Amazing Spider-Man comic storyline, just as that is the title, that's the mainline book for Spider-Man, doesn't dip below top 10 ever. Even when the book is perceived to be at its absolute worst, it's still a top 5 seller. So they're going to do a #1 reboot to stores to get a spike in sales for a book that's never out of the top 5. That might be the absolute dumbest fucking thing I have ever heard of in my entire life. Holy shit, you guys deserve to fail so bad. But you won't, because we're so dedicated to these fucking companies. We're still going to buy the books at some point. But good Lord, our decision's so bad. Peter and Mary Jane can't be together because, hey, it's harder to write stories when they're together than they're not together.
Bullshit.
You fat idiot, Nick. Shut up. Go eat a fucking plate of baby dicks, you fat piece of shit. Oh my God, man. Holy crap, dude. But yeah, I'll get, the thing is, I don't know if I can even get it when it drops, because I have so much stuff to buy this year in general. I'll probably just have to wait till it gets all collected in a trade at some point anyway. Because keep in mind, is there any real reason to check out issue 1 anyway? Is there, you know? Like, John Romita Jr.'s art is, I think, good, serviceable.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. But, you know, at this point, he must have some dirt on Marvel if they keep putting him on Spider-Man. Like, this man's on everything Spider-Man related.
He likes it. I'm surprised that Marvel can afford him, frankly. You know, he's been off and on Spider-Man a good chunk of his career. And he's got such a very distinct style. Like, you've seen him drawing Peter Parker and Spider-Man repeatedly. Like, it's almost iconic anymore, his art on Spider-Man. And his art is fine. And the art isn't the problem with the comics these days. It's Spider-Man. It's the story due to the editor's edicts with Spider-Man, where the actual writers don't really have a lot of good say-so.
The writers are just like, people accuse Kevin Feige of doing for the MC movies is like casting directors. Writers at this point, if you're on the Spider-Man title, the Amazing Spider-Man, you're just casted as a writer. Does Joe Kelly really have any influence over what he can really do if he wanted to do with Peter?
Nope. He's got, well, he can't do anything he wants. He's got guidelines that he's got to stay inside of. Like that, whoever wrote that thing about him getting, oh, maybe Spider-Man and Mary Jane will get married. They already fucking did. And Marvel Editorial destroyed it. They killed their baby off panel at the end of Revelations. They
had a gravy train right there when he was married, when his daughter was Spider-Woman. Yeah. They had a gravy train right there. They just don't want to see this guy happy.
That was a different universe altogether, basically. And she was really popular. Every time that they've managed to drop children into Peter Parker's lap, it actually performed well. The Spider-Girl book back in the day from, what was it, like Marvel 2 or whatever they were calling the universe, that one survived well past the collapse of the rest of the universe because people enjoyed Mayday Parker so much. She was probably one of the better written, more interesting female iterations of Spider-Man that have been out there. And she had a lot of
May Parker
fans that appreciated her. Yeah, Mayday Parker is what they called her. She was Spider-Girl. The Spider-Girl book went on for quite a while. All but forgotten is the character now because they don't want anybody to remember or collate or put together.
I want to ask you guys,
Parker and Mary Jane with children.
The last thing I will touch on for this video is, why do you guys think the Amazing Spider-Man book by Jonathan Hickman and Marco Cicchetto sold so well? The response from the announcement of him being married with kids was so big. People that I don't even care for their opinion on comic books were like, man, this W is so big, I got to take a knee. Like, people were like going crazy. Why do you think that book sold so well? Because they gave the fans what they wanted. Yeah, to be fair, it's not in the main universe. It's not, but people are literally taking what they can get right now. Because that's how desperate they are for Peter to be happy. That's all I wanted, Peter to be happy, have some progression in his life. How many more storylines can we go through where this guy is struggling, can't get it right, underdog? Like, bro, at some point, that is going to be so played out.
Yeah, like, dude, this is the thing that I never got. If he was always, he should be a shining example of what people can be and people can, a hero and everything else. It's like, except, like, it never could you put together such a shining example of what heroism is and someone who's so completely, constantly fucked up in their life. And I get that, it's the sacrifice he makes to save everybody and be Spider-Man and this and that. And I'm like, only because you write it that way. It's a fucking comic book, for fuck's sake. It's a fantasy story. Batman is fucking Bruce Wayne, and guess what? Guy's still fine. Peter Parker can't find like just a regular steady fucking job and like work his life out and shit.
Why is he still taking pictures for the Daily Bugle? Yeah, why is he still taking pictures for the Daily Bugle?
In a day where you've got like everything, like everybody working from home, you've got so many people doing side hustles and shit. He's a pseudo tech genius that they've brought up more than once with him. It's like, you're telling me this guy who's super bright and intelligent, who's not ugly, who's fit and in shape, who's got good moral standing, who's understands the difference between right and wrong. He can't figure his fucking life out. You're fucking kidding me. That's one of the things that took me out of it the most. I'm like, they clearly hate him. There's no way somebody with which they give all of these very particular attributes to is constantly incapable of keeping a relationship together, a job, his life, his ability to pay his fucking bills. Like, we're all tired of it. Nobody fucking cares for this loser this constantly making him basically be a loser in his real life and barely competent, and then like a great superhero as Spider-Man. I'm like, it doesn't jibe, it doesn't play, it just sucks. It just sounds like shit.
Yeah,
fuck it.
We're just at the point now where basically, if you eat out my ass, we'll have a great time making that comic book. We'll call it Ass Eating #1. We'll give that a #1 start this year. Would that be good?
I'm sure they've already made that comic somewhere. It's an indie comic, I guarantee you.
Yeah, it's
Ethan's got a campaign launching on it in like 2 weeks, man. You're already way behind.
All right. So yeah, man. Thoughts and closing thoughts and opinions on Amazing Spider-Man reboot #1 issue coming out later this year. You don't care. You're not buying it. You know,
I'm not buying it. It's not going to be a reboot. It's going to be the same shit.
It's just a renumbering at this point. You know,
it's a renumbering. The creative team, the art will get better. John Romita's art will be fantastic. The story will be the same. Lackluster. Peter Parker is a loser who can't figure his life out, and Spider-Man is constantly tortured and beat up, and one of his supervillains we're going to bring back somebody that's from 70 years ago, and we're going to deconstruct them and help you understand their motivations, so you realize that they were never really that bad at all.
This is how you know that Zeb Wells' run ends up so stupid. Why in the fucking hell would I want to look at a redeemed Norman Osborn? Why would that be enticing?
Didn't he basically rape a nearly underage Gwen Stacy and impregnate her?
Allegedly.
I mean, you want to talk about other shitty components of, like, the guy fucking threw her off a bridge when she was in her early 20s after knocking her up and stealing the kids. Like, fuck all of that shit.
Oh, I hate it. Holy crap. If he's black, I swear to God, I'll get a rope and I'll end it. I can't live in life anymore like that.
He is in the new cartoon, Norman Osborn.
Yeah, I saw that. We saw. Yeah, they did the whole I'm something of a naga myself. They actually did it. You gotta give them balls for that. That's crazy. Holy shit. But yeah, guys, the Amazing Spider-Man #1 reboot is stupid. For the reasons I already mentioned. It makes no sense sale-wise. It has no impact sales-wise. The book's always in the top 10, top 5. I don't know what this is for. If it's not a restart, why is it a reboot? Sales-wise, it negates whatever they're thinking about anyway. Oh, this is so stupid. Oh God, Marvel, just stop. Just stop it. Get some help.
They can't.
Holy fuck. You know what?
No, Marvel would have to be sold. Whoever Disney has very particular editors in there. This is it though.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
As long as Sony has owned the film and television rights to Spider-Man, or maybe not quite as long, but just about as long, Marvel has destroyed the character, and they will continue to destroy the character. Maybe when they get it back, but this is the thing: they have fucked the character so much that it's reading it in comics is beyond redemption. What we got from the movies,
it's the same thing.
I could live with
everything again. At the end of the movie, he lost literally everything. He doesn't even get to keep the Peters that he became friends with. What are we doing?
No, and that's the thing. In all honesty, if they reboot that, I'm fine, because that wasn't Mary Jane. Give me a Peter Parker with Mary Jane at least.
We're talking about Shaniqua Jane.
Not even that, dude. Like, I'm just sorry. Like, Zendaya is like a tired piece of cardboard. Just stop giving us. I don't care. I'm not interested in her as an actress. She doesn't engage well. She doesn't evoke any sort of thing. I just didn't care because I actually appreciated Tom Holland's representation of it. I loved Michael Keaton's Vulture too. All of this, like all of that stuff, the Sony Spider-Man, MCU,
what they do in that movie,
Spider-Man, I enjoyed.
Same bullshit they pulled in that movie. He liked the black girl. I don't know why Tom Holland just loves his Shaniquas, like whatever, I guess. They don't even show you in the theatrical version him kissing her because the dad is the villain. Oh, so you can't even get the girl. Oh, fucking hell, Marvel. This guy just can't be happy. He just can't be happy. To be fair, she was black. He didn't be with her anyway. It's just pointing out there. Black guys can be with white girls. That's how it should work. But good Lord. Yeah, this is the dumbest fucking thing I have seen Marvel do in so long. This makes no sense at all. But hey, if you like the Amazing Spider-Man run by Zeb Wells, all subjective. More power to you. I only read volume 1. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was good overall. Just for first volume. When I read and review the rest of them, I hope they're as decent. But I'll just have to cross that road when I have to cross that bridge when I get to it. Or is it a road? Whatever the saying is. But yes, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King. And I'm signing out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace. Beep. All right. What in the world's wrong with you?
Emotional damage.
In my pussy.
Probably.
Good Lord. What? One second.
What'd you do? Did you finger it out?
Oh, no. People were talking to me on Facebook and like, can you leave me alone? I'm like kind of busy here. All right, before we go, he did have a Nasquack earlier in the stream. That never happened. It's never happened. Yep. I never have Nasquack moments ever. Oh no, the moment where he's talking to Peter in the car is pretty good. Like Homecoming, I didn't be honest here. I didn't care for Homecoming all that much. I thought it was actually not that good at all. But there were some moments there. I think Michael Keaton as Vulture definitely carried it for sure. It's not much to work with in that movie at all. Good Lord.
You know, it was just fun, and that was fine. It's
if you had to rank it amongst the other Spider-Man movies, would it be on the lower end of the totem pole?
No, because we had Amazing Spider-Man 2 and all three of its endings and terrible fucking editing. Amazing Spider-Man 1, though, I enjoyed that.
The first one I did
at all. Then you've got Spider-Man 3.
I think was good. Spider-Man 3. Whoo, that was some yikes. That was not good.
Yeah. No, Topher Grace. No.
The internet convinced itself Spider-Man 3 is an underrated gem. It's like, it's really not. It might be a little bit better than other super movies, but it's not like good.
No, it's retarded. The internet is retarded. And the movie's meh. But Spider-Man 2 is absolutely fucking #1, period, of the Spider-Man movies. But yeah, Homecoming's probably going to be in my top 5 there. Maybe even top 3. Like, I liked it.
That's what we should do for a stream. We do a special stream where we rank all the Spider-Man movies. Good Lord. I have Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Far From Home at the bottom. Those two are at the bottom, competing for last. Those two are terrible. Far From Home is the most forgettable, useless Spider-Man movie ever made. It's so, you'd have to literally get me to watch it again for me to remember what the fuck happened in that piece of shit. Oh my God. Here are the books coming out this week. There's no omnibuses for me to buy or anything because, you know, there's nothing big new dropping. Maybe I'll get the Amalgamage book at some point, but I got to get other stuff first. That's why MSK is only wearing shorts because he ruined his pants, I think. Ask Savage Dad. He'll back me up. Why do people think I shit my pants? What is wrong with the guy?
Who thinks you shit your pants?
That never happened on stream. My butthole is not loose.
Are we sure that's ever happened on stream? I don't know.
I don't think so. Absolute Batman #4. Speaking of the Amazing Spider-Man, you have
it hasn't happened on stream.
You have for all I know. 8 deaths of Spider-Man. The only thing I'm pulling this week is Absolute Batman. I have Transformers. Most Energon stuff I have in trades. I don't need to get this up in floppies. I'll get it in trades. Aquaman #1 is being written by Jeremy Adams. That's dropping. I have that on my pull list. That's DC All In. I think this might be the only week I have like 2 books on my pull list. There's nothing really else here dropping, honestly.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's nothing here, honestly. Oh, there's the DC Finest Aquaman, The King of Atlantis, trade paperback, $40. You have the new Avengers Omnibus. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna get some Captain Africa stuff. I already have this, honestly. I already own this. They're doing a re-release of the Saga of Sam Wilson. You can already get this on Amazon for like $15. They're doing a small little Marvelverse pocket book. Like, they do this kind of thing with Marvel. This should be their Compact comics. They do this with a bunch of other characters already, or they have. They did it this year with Captain America, Scarlet Witch, now they're doing with Cap. I usually get these. I think they're kind of cool. These are things you give to newcomers because it gives them few stories to get invested into a character, and you just kind of see if they like it. This is a really cool idea. I would hope Marvel eventually does something more with it. I think it's a cool idea. But that's pretty much it. I have like 3 things in my pull list. There's nothing coming out this week that I really kind of care for. There's the Batman issue 608 Face Smile edition, the Jim Lee cover, but you know, nothing else there. Next week is going to be bigger. Action Comics I'm still pulling. Ultimate Wolverine #1. Batman
That's
and Robin.
The only interesting thing there, maybe.
G.I. Joe #3 is dropping. Let's see. There's really nothing else here. There's Green Lantern, Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I don't know. Fractured booty hole?
On the spectrum.
What else is here coming out this week? Nothing? Give me the omnibuses.
I don't know, dude.
I like when MSK is sick and has a sore throat. I always ask him if he coated his throat with Little Caesar's pizza sauce and washed it down with Kickstart. I would die. I literally would die a death.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is
a unique set of
circumstances if ever I've heard them before.
DC Finest Supergirl, The Girl of Steel, trade paperback. Swamp Thing Omnibus. I never read a single thing Swamp Puss. I never read a single thing Swamp Thing related ever.
Could be interesting.
G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Volume 2. X-Men Road to Onslaught, Omnibus Volume 1. I might get this. This looks pretty
cool. Wow. That's interesting. The first Onslaught?
Dan Slott?
No. The Onslaught. Oh, yeah. Look at the art.
Art looks, it looks great. Ooh, Storm that's a fat booty she got there. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's the late 90s era.
You're right.
Keep rolling down. Who are the creators on that?
Jeff Loeb, Warren Ellis, Tim
Scott
Sale.
Lobdell. Jeff Loeb, yeah. See, dude, Warren Ellis. Comic crafted their work. Where's the pencils at?
They don't usually say.
Oh, the cover artist is Joe Madureira. I was gonna say, hell yeah. That would be interesting to me. I have Onslaught in floppies, but I don't have a lot of the shit that led up to it.
Variety Content Entertainment presents Surviving Jay Biddy. What in the world is wrong with you guys? You guys need Jesus. What's wrong with you? What is this Nightwing book? Let me see. Nightwing's past catches up with him. Nightwing faces the memory of a dark encounter from his days fighting alongside Batman as Robin. An encounter which might hold the secret of Sephiroth Solutions, mysterious CEO, and her Mac. What in the world? What are these words? The machinations for the city of Bloodhaven. All this sounds like just completely what the fuck are these descriptions? Sorry, I had a reading retard moment. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce that word.
That happens. You do those enough.
There's nothing else here. Yeah, I might pull the. Okay, I'll add this to my pull list. I'll buy it eventually. I just want to make sure it's there.
I wonder how much is it?
Well, it says $125 retail, but to be honest here, you could get it for like $90.
Oh, I'm gonna check out Amazon then. Yeah, see what
Daredevil Marvelverse. I'm getting this one. Yeah, more Marvelverse books are cool. They should have Marvelverse books on a lot of their characters. I don't know why they don't do it. All right, so that concludes Case Closed. Case Closed is on volume 93. That's
Case
crazy.
Closed.
It's an old anime.
I love anime. Yeah, I was gonna say, is that still running?
Yeah,
I thought it was one of the longer running ones out there. I mean, that and like One Piece are pretty
Detective Comics,
pretty far up there.
This might be. Okay, I'll tell you guys. I wouldn't buy to read this. I'll just wait for a trade. But that cover does look pretty good. Oh yeah, that cover looks great.
I have a lot of great covers like that. What was that from? Is that the new book?
Yeah, this is
No,
He Gets the Spider-Man. That cover looks really good. I'll give him that.
He's still not even going to end up with Felicia though, so
good lord, yeah. Why don't you do a comic book review on a new series of comics that you've never read before? Eventually. I just have to get the time to do it. Those are things that I'm working on and planning on doing already. You will see them. You will see them. I'm a man of my word.
Someday, maybe.
Someday, maybe. Yep. Glad I put that asterisk in there. I might at some point maybe do this thing. Yeah. Well, let's keep in mind, I've never been that interested in Swamp Thing as a character. That's the thing. There's certain characters I'm just not that interested in. People said they're good, it's fine, but I'm not interested in everything.
Yeah.
You know? I only got so much money. I live in California, and I'm also black.
I don't know what that has to do with anything. I mean, California is expensive.
Power Rangers Prime. I'm just going through some of the books this week to see it's worth it. Okay, this looks like a week of books to pull. Oh, nice. Good job. Man, it's almost like they want to make some money this week.
Probably not. That's a lie.
Oh, the Punisher cover. They're doing a
really
Space Smile edition of the first appearance of the Punisher. That's cool. Huh. Limited collector's edition for Space Smile, the Superman versus Flash race. Jay Biddy will buy you comics. I wish he did. How much money I would save if he did that? Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Meave, Omnibus Volume 2.
One of the few things that Brian Michael Bendis did that was actually not bad.
A lot of people like his Daredevil run. A lot of people thought it was very good.
His Daredevil run was good. It was. I don't know what happened between there and anything else that he did. Maybe that was the only idea he had. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Do you remember when DC was touting that they got Brian Michael Bendis to write Superman? They're like, Bendis is coming. He's our new guy. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I know, right?
Thank God they learned their lesson from that.
Did they, though?
Technically, maybe. You're probably right.
I don't know.
They had Gail Simone. No, do you know that Superman thing they have recently going on, the Superman All-Stars? So they had it with Jason Aaron, Dan Mora. Then the next person they chose was Gail Simone to write a 3. Basically, like they choose known All-Stars to write 3 issues for Superman, a 3-part arc. Jason Aaron, Gail Simone. The next person is Dan Slott. Dan fucking Slott.
It's not John Byrne or Dan, if it isn't John Byrne or Dan Jurgens, I don't care.
Okay, what is coming out in the last week of the month? There's nothing. Look at this X-Men saga. What the hell is it? No one's. Look at that. 3 people are interested in pulling Deadpool at that issue 10 already. That's getting canceled. You don't gotta convince me of that. Superman Lex Luthor special number 1. It looks kind of cool. What else we got here? There's nothing at the last week of the month. Well, makes sense. It's January. DC Lex in the City. Okay, that just looks gay. There's nothing dropping this week. Holy crap! Guess I'm saving money this week.
January is a pretty damn slow month for comics, dude. I mean, even just naturally, it's.
Joe Kelly also. Well, what's so crazy is I forgot to mention this in the video, but it won't matter. Joe Kelly's worked on Spider-Man before. Nick Lowe was touting us like we got him on there for the first time. It's like, no, he's did Spider-Man before. You fucking fat retard.
Yeah, he had a run as part of 3 people with Dan Slott that wrote Spider-Man for a period of time.
There's literally okay. I'll literally be only buying 1 book this week. I'll just go on eBay and buy that. Then no need to buy from my comic shop that week. Maybe I don't even pull anything this week. I don't know. What's the description of this book? The Return of Lex Luthor. Oh, looks kind of cool. Maybe. Writer Joshua Williamson? That's might get me to read it. Joshua Williamson is pretty talented. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
All right. Before we head out, next week we're gonna be doing a comic book review on Transformers. What was it called? Road of Butthole.
Road to Transition.
Okay. All right, Brianna Wu. Okay. Next week, we're going to be doing a comic book review of Transformers Transport to Oblivion Volume 2. You got the You got the direct market edition. I got the main cover this time
I think
around.
so.
That's crazy because after that, you know what's gonna happen, guys? We're not gonna get another volume of Transformers for a while, a literal while.
Yeah, they do take their damn time with it. That's for fucking sure. But Spider-Man is actually worse, I think. Ultimate Spider-Man takes for freaking ever to drop. Now,
When is
number
volume 2
12
dropping?
came out, but it's going to be a while before we actually probably get the last bits of that, or that we get that in trade. So, like when we get volume 2, it's going to be 3 months from issue 12 dropping, basically, which is going to kind of suck. But
does anyone remember that IDW TMNT big launch they tried doing that pretty much no one cared about or failed? There's only so many stories you can write about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, guys. You're not reinventing the wheel there.
Yeah, there's stuff you could do, but like, dude, Jason Aaron's kind of played, as far as I'm concerned.
He's had some good hits every once in a while.
He has, but like his thing is like always basically ended up being, I'm gonna gender swap them, or I don't know, dude.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Like his big thing was Thor. Girl Thor.
So this will cover issues 7 through 12. This is coming out on March 19th, 2025. There you go. So good Lord, man. You're supposed to come out faster. That's why you can just, I don't know. People overrate floppy so hard. If things were just in collected editions, I'd be totally fine with it. I don't even care anymore.
I'd be more interested. I am more interested in the collected than that. So
I never said Great War of Serpentron. Oh my God. I said separation. I didn't see the word. I thought it said Serpentron.
No, he said Sepakudadu. It's totally what he said, yo.
Oh God. But yeah, EVS currently is the best comic book writer and artist of all time. I want to be a CG Comicsgate simp. You know, I just love getting on my knees for EVS. It's so fun. I love licking urinal cakes.
I know he does.
Oh,
we've
God.
all seen it. We know how he rolls.
He thinks that, like, you know, small creatives ruin the comic book space with overpriced bad books. It's like, are you just projecting? You're in that mix too of bad creatives. Now, you're not small because you're fucking fat as hell, but you know.
Yeah. Well, his future is pretty small. Shitting on an indie comic book publisher or just a comic book publisher is, you know, if that's how he wants to spend his weekends, by all means, but I don't know what much that's going to get him. But, you know, at this point, I think everybody's going to spend the rest of the year doing our very best to basically pretend like he doesn't exist. He's kind of a waste of time. He's overstayed his welcome in the conversation, and I think that going forward, everyone should just forget him.
Do you think we should have sex later on?
No.
Oh, it's obviously not Tuesday. So, yeah. Next week we'll have a review and a topic to cover. But do you have anything planned coming up that you're going to be doing before you leave for work?
Right now, nope. Nothing. My plans are basically Rogues Gallery as far as the streaming stuff is concerned. It's about the only thing I can kind of maintain consistently, and even that's questionable. I don't know what my ability to produce content or be on shows is with any consistency for now.
Yeah,
and I don't know when I will. Like hopefully, hopefully in a few months I'll know a lot more about the way things should be. But
yeah, that's the thing. Is
what it is.
When we get to April, head out to Vegas. Will you have the time to go to Vegas this year?
Hope so. At least for a couple days.
Yeah, because I'll be out there. Hopefully, I'll be able to stay a day longer because, you know, I had a lot of girls after me. They were trying to get in my hotel room and blow me at levels I couldn't even comprehend and, you know, take. But, you know, I was ready to just, like, I went into the room. I basically was at Circus. I met this girl, and she was like, can I come back up to your room and blow your BBC, you sexy hot daddy? So we went back to the room, and we had a lot of sex for the whole night. And then she left. And then I never saw her again. Oh, he left me. Wow. That's crazy.
An interesting fanfic.
I had Amaranth there. Amaranth blew me so hard.
Ugh, gross.
Somehow, she's halfway decent looking.
If you like plastic.
Good Lord. Like, I remember just her butt being so deep to get inside of. I was like, oh my God, this is just really, I'm falling in this thing.
That wouldn't stop you, though.
Yeah, you know, she was digging me out, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Diesel can't stop talking about the
The separation.
So my rib reveal showcase video, when they had the Great War of Separation, I said the Great War of Serpentron. I didn't see the word. I literally didn't see the word. Oh God. I didn't see the word I literally thought it said Serpentrons. That sounds kind of cool though. I wasn't wrong, but it said the Great War of Separation. And I was like, oh God, they're gonna use this for a Nasquack moment. Oh God. Remember that X-Ray Girl tweet I put in the group chat earlier today, where she was like, woke up in the morning with my legs shaking and in pain. Oh.
Isn't she in the U.S. again?
Isn't she always in the U.S.? I have no clue.
No, she's Canadian.
She is? Fuck it, fine now. Literally, guys, I'm a genius, and I've had sex with so many women at this point. You know? Put it in the Discord when you do WZ. I'll follow. Wow. Wow. I literally just said Serpentron. It sounds cool. It does. I didn't know there was going to be a book called The Great War of Separation, you know, but maybe next week we should just rank all the Rippaverse comics, and now that'll be cool for a video after the review. So yeah, as you guys know, the show that I do with Professor Savage Dad will be on Tuesdays moving forward until it changes, until further notice, right? But if we can't do the show Tuesday because he has to work that week, we'll just do it Sunday. Not as long as the usual shows go, because you know I love it longer and better. But you know, certain nights we have to do a little bit shorter, but it's fine. Just wanted to let you guys know that. And I'm going to be obviously working on putting out more consistent content in a shorter time frame. Working on getting the rest of the Cloud9 podcast episodes uploaded to the podcast platforms. Then work on getting the rest of the Iron Man podcast episodes uploaded to the podcast platform. And then after that, I'm going to be uploading the rest of these episodes to the podcast platforms as well. We're starting off 2025 with an absolute banger. Already got consistent content out there. I'm going to be dropping some really great videos. And I just want to say, before we go, you know, thank you to Savage Dad and all you guys who helped me do this, because literally without you, it's not possible. Without you, it can't be a thing. You know, I could do it by myself. I did it by myself before I met any of you guys, obviously. But, you know, we couldn't do this without you guys. You guys are the stars of the show. I'm just here to be a daddy to you guys and guide you all and teach you guys about the ways of life. I clapped Tiny in a Henry Cavill debate. And, you know, we kissed and made up more in a different way in my fantasy than in real life, obviously. But it's one of those things where, will Tiny make her appearance on the show ever again? Maybe. We'll see. If I decide if she's good enough to be on the show.
Only if you're telling the truth.
You had a bed before, now nothing. MSK wouldn't be shit without us. We know this because he still ain't shit with us.
Yeah, what did happen to your bed?
I have a bed. You guys just can't see it anymore. I traded it in for omnibuses.
Yeah, that's what I assumed you were, sleeping on a bed made of omnibuses. That's what you're talking about. I get it. I see. I see where your bed is. I get it now. Now I understand.
Oh God,
your bed is just omnibuses.
I just traded them in my bed for a shelves and books. Great. I have a couch in there. It's pretty comfortable.
Sounds like something you would do.
I have a couch. It's fine.
Is your bed the couch, or is your couch the bed?
Well, the semen on it would beg to differ. I don't jerk off on the couch. That's just disgusting.
I thought you were talking about the sailors you dated.
Yeah. Huh. Well, MSK threw away his bed because he heard a J Biddy party took place on that bed.
That's where he got it from.
Don't worry, guys. I'll have a bed. I have a bed. It's just you have to just blow it up with a machine.
Yeah, it's an air mattress, right?
Oh no. Never. Maybe. So now Professor Savage Dad, he's gonna end up starring in a black and white movie eventually with people that do fucking movements like this.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Did you ever have sex with a woman?
A couple of times.
Yeah. Having sex is not that hard. It's pretty easy. But all right, guys. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show, and we will see you guys later.